So they are saying that aliens' DNA has been found in humans. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be getting right to it. You don't have to like the video, you don't have to subscribe. This is gonna be a big one. We're gonna have tons of clips of these UFOs, these twats, these bozos and all that, and we're gonna have to lay the wood down, and you're gonna get some pause indeed. But let's get right to it, because tonight's the night. Roll it.
A bonker new study claims alien DNA has been found inside humans. I didn't believe it myself until I saw this photo.
It sounds like an old science fiction movie, but a study out of Harvard finds that aliens might be living among us.
All right, moving on. Break out the theremin, because this next story is just begging for a spooky sci-fi background. After 30 years at the helm of the Israeli space security program, and after receiving 3 Israeli security awards, retired Israeli general and respected professor Chaim Eshed is now unveiling that yes, there are aliens among us, yes, Israel has made contact with them, and no, humanity is not ready for them.
Well, some of them are written by prophets, but I mean, Enoch is apparently...
And he also, yeah, this happened back, okay, so this one specifically, right? This happened, if I'm not mistaken, this is not new. This happened around 2019, 2020, when he came forward and said that, yeah, Galactic Federation is real, aliens are real, and, you know, Trump knows about it, and, you know, we're not ready to meet them and all that, which was insane, don't get me wrong, and now but this is not new, right? Or is it?
Humanity is not ready for them.
Well, some of them are written by...
Apparently this alien DNA thing is just coming out, so I'll be diving into that, and we got tons of other stuff, but yeah, let's come
prophets, but I mean, Enoch is apparently supposed to predate even the time of Genesis and talk.
The nuttiest one is Ezekiel.
I'm telling you, Enoch is even crazier than Ezekiel.
Right, and of course we have covered the Anna Paulina Luna situation multiple times on the channel. She's a congresswoman in the United States of America, and she has came out numerous times talking about aliens, talking about interdimensional beings, extra-dimensional beings, aliens that were not alone, and yeah, she's a congresswoman. So she has a lot of credibility when it comes to, I mean, that, right? So you either believe it or you're gonna be like, it's Project Blue Balls. It might be Project Blue Balls, but apparently this started circulating. Alien DNA found inside humans. It was inserted into our genes. Bonkers new study claims. I mean, that's a big one, right? And this one was reportedly researched by Dr. Max Rempel, who says, and I quote, humanity may be undergoing genetic transformation, she then told Daily Mail, and this is yet to be peer reviewed, so remember that, folks, and I quote, if proven, this would be as world-shattering as recovering a flying saucer, said Nigel Watson, not Emma Watson from Harry Potter, fellas. It's Nigel Watson. Do I know him? Absolutely not. Author of Portraits of Alien Encounters Revisited. Now, I do agree that, and I can see you guys typing as well. This is hearsay, and it is hearsay, right? But if this ever becomes, or if this is provable, and if they're ever able to prove this is insane, right? Then you're gonna have, you ever heard about the Anunnakis? Right, we covered that topic on the channel. We might have to make a part 2 of that someday, and I got you guys with that soon, but yeah, exactly. So if this ever becomes provable, or if they're able to prove it, then the Anunnakis topic is gonna get a lot more credibility. For those of you that are new to it, essentially Anunnakis is one of the aliens kind, and it is being said, you know, the conspiracy theories are that they are the ones that actually made us. Oh shit! I personally don't believe it, but there are tons of people that believe it, and there are tons of people that don't believe it, and there are tons of people that are fascinated by it, and I'm one of those guys, right? I'm one of those people that is fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by the Anunnakis topic as well. Not dismissing it, but I just don't believe it, right? This is ISS 2021 footage. Let me actually get right to this one. So this is George Knapp, the guy that gave the world that famous Bob Lazar interview, ladies and gentlemen. All those years later, he's back at it again, and he's going pretty strong. So God bless the man, and let's actually get to it real quick though before I forget. I gotta shout out Sun Gason for the $10, and also Alma Coffee for the $5. Says, I await the day my teeth grips your cloth and rips it to shreds. You guys gotta stop. You guys gotta stop. My future wife, bitch. I mean, I don't know who's gonna be my future wife, but if she finds out, she'll probably kill me. So you have to stop right there. But thank you guys so much for all the love. All right, let's get back to the content here. Boo Boo, so he's talking about the mantis aliens. It's a big one. Roll it.
Of all of the types that we've heard of, you've heard of the Greys and the Nordics and the tall whites and all these different, which one, and this is just hypothetical, but which one is most interesting to you?
The mantises, the mantids. Part of that is personal, and part of it is sort of UFO related, in that it always seems like the mantises are in charge. The people who have these experiences, who are taken on board ships. It's maybe the little Greys that are the functionaries doing the experiments, the anal probes, all that stuff.
Did he really say that? Come on, man.
Functionaries doing the experiments, the anal probes, all that stuff. But it's the mantis.
Okay, I'm a 12-year-old, man, but I mean, in a way, he's not lying. Like, yeah, those alien cheeky bastards have done the anal probing big time. They have done a whole lot of plumbing, pause.
That seem to be calling the shots. So I'm very interested in them. And the personal side of it is, I dig mantises. So I had this, I have a mantis sanctuary at my home.
Yeah, tranquilo, uncle. Uncle, you gotta chill, man. Looks like Uncle Uncle George and I've got a hard on for that one. Now, you know what? I've seen this. And I have also Chat GPT'd, and I want to dive into that one in a second. This will open up your third eye. Roll it.
I had this, I have a mantis sanctuary at my home. I found this thing floating in my pool. It's now 10 years ago. And I thought it was a piece of wood. And I scooped it out, and I realized, oh man, it's a praying mantis. Looks like it's dead. You know what? I'm going to put it over here in the courtyard and see if it comes back alive. I come out a half hour later, I open the front door, there's that damn mantis at the doorstop, looking up, trying to get in the house. I go, no, hold on there, little buddy. Scooped it up, and I put it, we have a flower bed.
Oh, wow.
And in the spring, we grow mint, and it flowers. I put it in there, best of luck to you. And that was a girl mantis, because every year since then, on the 1st of May, I get a crop of mantises. And I made it into a sanctuary. I protect it. I don't let any yard guy come in, and I don't let any insecticides be sprayed there. But at first it was a dozen mantises that were born. Suddenly I've got a bunch of them. The second and third year it's several dozen. And then it was hundreds. And then we had a year, each year gets a little harder because the climate is changing, whether people want to admit it or not. But I protect that like it's my own children. I put up fences to keep people and animals and danger away from those mantises. And it's part of it is because I just think they're little fascinating creatures. They're amazing. And then as I'm going through.
So he's talking about the insects, right? Not to be confused. And I've seen this before I started recording this. This is why I've done like a little bit of research on it so I can bring this to your attention. And no, this is actually quite insane. So purely, strictly talking about the mantis aliens, what do we know about them? They are 6 to 9 feet tall if they are real. And this topic has gained even more credibility, and don't worry, we're gonna get back to this one. The mantis aliens have even garnered more credibility because during a UFO hearing, UAP hearing, that's what they call it, right? Officially on a government level, this happened in a US government, fellas. So this is not like any Bob talking about on the internet. Yo, shout out to you if your name is Bob. We love you out here, man, but that's kind of like the example, sorry to say, but you know, every time you hear examples, everybody like say Bob, right? Bob's your uncle, right? But love Bobs out there, man. Bob Lazar, man. Bob Lazar, come on now, right? So love Bob. Shout out to Bobs if you're watching this. But yeah, no, so during a UFO hearing, they confirmed that the Greys are here, right? The Nordics are here, the tall whites are here, the reptilians are here, and also the mantis are here. Oh, and it's being considered, it's being said that they are the most intelligent out of the group. Is it real? Is it false? Hey man, that's what they're saying, right? Is this part of Project Blue Balls? Perhaps. Is this actually legit? Perhaps. Maybe one day we'll find out. Now this happened back in 2022 in Taiwan. I mean, holy smokers, it ain't no dang jokers, man. You gotta be flipping my flapjacks. So yeah, while we're on this clip here, let me just show you fully, and let's get back to the topic at hand. So knowing that, Their height is 6 to 9 feet. Like the Nordics, like the tall whites, body is thin, with an exoskeleton-like appearance. Green, brown, or sometimes golden in color. Head is triangular or elongated with large wraparound eyes, black or deep red. Hands are 3 to 4 long fingers, sometimes claws or fine digits. Movement is very graceful, deliberate, sometimes described as floating. Now, they are said to be the observers, kind of like scientists, so maybe they are really actually studying us, right? Because, you know, if you ever heard this, that maybe they are here to study us, I guess it's being said or rumored to be that they are the ones that are studying us. Of course, their mode of communication is telepathy, dimensional travel, energy manipulation, set to tune or adjust a human's energetic field during encounters. So you got a whole lot of that. And I also asked it because, you know, he's also talking about the mantis, the insects, right? Essentially, these aliens look like the insects that we have on planet Earth. So it is kind of fascinating, right? So yeah, I asked that question. So the bottom line is that biological, there is no evidence, there is no link. Does not mean it's real or fake, but the insects that we have and the aliens that are being talked about, there's no connection in between them yet, or we don't know, or perhaps we do know, as in, you know, the government knows, but they're not telling us about it. Mythological, yes. Symbolic, so mythologically, yes, connection there. Now, in terms of UFO and paranormal, anecdotal only. People report seeing beings resembling them, possibly archetypal or interdimensional imagery. So there is that sort of connections. No link. Mantises evolved naturally on Earth. So we're talking about the insects that he's talking about, but the insects are kind of linked with the, you know, the actual humanoid aliens, insectoids, mantis.
UFO research and creatures, they're amazing. And then as I'm going through UFO research, I learned that about these mantid beings. And I figured, well, you know, it doesn't help to be in good with the mantises. When the 8-foot tall ones land, maybe they put a good word in with our new mantis overlords. You know, I'm only partially joking about that, but I love the mantises. I protect them. I dig them. They come back every year. This year I didn't know if I was going to have any left or not because so many of the adults ended up dead for one reason or another last year, and I didn't see any of these little mantis condo towers that they are like egg sacs that they leave. I didn't see any new ones, so I didn't know if adults ended up dead. That they are like egg sacs.
Yeah, let me actually show you this, or let me, yeah, do it that way.
Sacs that they leave. I didn't see any new ones, so I didn't know if they're going to come out until April 30th. I saw 2 little mantises, and I was just happy as shit. And then May 1st, boom, there they are, like right on, like they've got a calendar or something. They
every May 1st.
Yeah, every
they show up May 1st.
For this is the 10th year. 10th year.
Incredible.
Dang.
How many mantises now do you think?
I was out there looking at them yesterday and took some photos. There's at least 24 of them in there, which probably means there's twice as many that I can't see. But it's amazing. I got these metal poles.
Yeah.
When the first batch comes, you can always see 1 or 2 of these mantises get up to the highest point, like they're king mantis, even though you can barely see them. I'll send you some photos.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
They're very egotistical. They got a whole lot of ego, right?
Yeah.
Incredible. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to put in a good word with these little guys, and maybe, you know, they'll end up protecting us. There was this story, was it called The Mantis? This documentary?
Man versus Mantis.
Man versus Mantis. Yeah. This was fascinating to me. And
glasses off, ladies and gentlemen. You know it's gonna get real, and we're gonna dive into more UFO clips right after this one. So I got you.
Stumbled upon this, and I brought it up to you in the past, and you said, "Oh yeah, that's like a legit case."
Yeah. So that was like right in the middle of my mantis experiment. My sanctuary, as somebody sent that story to me. I reached out to that guy. I had him on Coast to Coast. He's a musician and a filmmaker, a fascinating guy, serious, smart, funny as hell. And he told me about this man versus mantis experience. And what happened to him has happened to so many other people, is that once you connect with the mantises on some level, you start seeing them everywhere. And maybe it's just your awareness grows or something like that, but in his life, suddenly it spread to everyone in his family. they're seeing mantises all over the place. And
What?
Have you ever had an encounter with a mantis?
Mantis as in like the humanoid alien creature, or the mantis like those smaller insects?
That wasn't
in my garden? No.
Yeah.
No, I have not. That'd be pretty cool. Scary as hell, but it'd be
Yeah, it apparently, yeah, so that's kind of like the rendition you're looking at. Insectoids!
pretty cool.
The mantis,
I hope
the
so
praying mantis.
someday.
What's your conviction on these mantids being real?
I'd say somewhere around 60%. I don't really know. It's
pretty high.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't know. I don't know what they really look like.
That's respectful. That's respectable, because, yeah, you know, we can talk about it, but I haven't seen them, so I don't know, right? This is what it's being reported, and also in the UFO hearing, they talked about it, but let's be objective here. We don't know if they are for real, right? So it seems like that he also don't know, so he's keeping it real. I can respect that.
You know, what we have learned from this phenomena in the big picture, not only did the ships change shapes, but the beings change shapes. And sometimes it happens while abductees are on board these craft, if it's really that craft. They manipulate our perceptions in so many ways. I'm not sure we really know what any of them look like. You know, if there are bodies from Roswell or Kingman or any of the other crashes, then we know what some of them look like. But I suspect that those little grays are functionaries that are robots, that are synthetic beings that are created to do work, as opposed to the actual ET, or if that's what they are. You should talk to the musician guy, and I'm having a brain fart on his name, but
Yeah, I'll look him up. I remembered his name too, and I can't remember it right now, but yes.
he's a great interview, a clever guy, doesn't go too far, has a sense of humor,
Yeah.
not crazy.
Beautiful story.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful story that involved his family too, and you know, the sound of music being something that he recognized, and yeah, very interesting stuff. And it's interesting as well that like it seems to be the phenomenon seems to favor, at least at some degree, artists. We've seen, so that didn't surprise me as well that you know, that he would have been contacted. But yeah, there is something too about the mantis that is interesting, is that they're not always physical. You know, you hear about tales of the mantis through psychedelic experiences as well, and non-physical sort of engagements. And so, yeah,
Glasses back
it's hard
on.
to know because it's so nebulous. Is it real? Is it not real? And they're so rare. There's been abduction cases that I've heard that they distinctly remember seeing these insectoids, but very briefly, and like almost behind a curtain, and almost wearing a hood.
Yeah, they got them hoodies on. Hey, why you hiding, man? Why you hiding? Put that hood down, bruh.
And
Yes. Yes.
very, very subtle, and perhaps as to not frighten us. Is that is
Maybe.
is the reason.
Absolutely. Yes.
But we
because
should
that
send
would
them-
be scary.
Yeah, we should send him a memo. The Greys are pretty terrifying. Too.
Yeah. Come on out and play.
Well, let's get to this one. Check this out. Shout out to the homie That Is Impossible. Roll it.
Now let's just take this moment to think about it. If Bigfoot does really exist, there should be more types of videos of it, such as security cameras, dash cams, and so on and so forth.
That's loud. My boy Loud.
Well, a couple of years ago, a police dash cam was able to capture something baffling on camera while two police officers were chasing a car late at night in Georgia. What they captured on camera left them baffled. This
Baffle
is
gang.
what happened.
Baffle gang, rise
I
up.
can articulate that in court. They have got no good intentions. Their
What,
intentions
this?
are to harm you.
I know that's
I can
not.
very, very easily articulate that.
But
They will though. The old ladies in this county, they'll liable to shoot first, ask questions.
oh
after
crap,
they've
this?
got the body.
That's a sign.
Yeah, I had several of them tell me that. They're like, look, I've lived in this county since I was 12 years old. Had the farm, daddy's farm. Still got the land. And anybody coming on my property to look for no good, I'm gonna shoot.
Anytime now. Oh crap.
What the crap?
That looked like a shadow.
I was seeing things actually.
Oh my goodness, please tell me we got that on audio.
That looked like a shadow, but the quality is so bad. Man, why is it always like that? Whenever, you know, we just saw this video, right? It looks so good. It looks so good, like the UFO, I mean, right? Like the UFO looks so good. And this video right here on what is going on, man?
Video.
Yeah, I mean, we got the cops dash cam footage, so it's definitely authentic in that way, but the video itself is so poo-poo, it's yeah, you cannot make anything out of it. Something did move though, but... Yeah, got the sirens on, or the lights on.
I don't know what the heck it is. It's something going... See it?
Where's that?
It's right over there. I don't know what it... Now it's...
The video footage is blurry, however we can actually see what appears to be a huge creature walking on its 2 legs, crossing the road, taking only 3 steps to do it.
Bruh.
This would mean that
only 3 steps. Oh my god. I feel like that a normal folk gotta... I mean, I gotta take 20 steps to go from point A to point B. Probably you too, man. Hey man, stop laughing, man. Stop laughing.
Whatever this thing is, it is not human. And by the cops' reaction, it's definitely something that they had never seen before.
Yeah.
What the crap?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yes.
In the video, you can see them turning around and searching for whatever this thing is, without any success. In your opinion, is this just a blurry video of a human being crossing a road, or is it something else?
Or it may be the Undertaker. Yeah, might be the Undertaker, man. Oh yeah, this one, I remember that. Oh my goodness. And it starts running at him. Yeah.
In 2016,
Mama calla policia. Yeah, you see, that one, I've seen that one. That was crazy though.
family was strolling around the countryside in a town called Bashkortostan in Russia, when all of a sudden they noticed a strange and big creature following their car.
Russian Bigfoot don't give a shit, bro. Damn.
At certain moments, they stop to try to identify what it is that's following them, if it's a human being, or if it's a bear, or if it's something else.
Right.
I think the video speaks for itself. You can actually feel what the family was feeling through this video. They were scared of this humanoid-like creature. Take a look for yourself.
Снимаешь? Да, снимаю. Где он? Вон он стоит.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Сейчас стой вот так отсюда. Пиздец. Он скрылся. Он!
Yeah,
Его не
mama,
видно.
I got the camera.
Его не видно.
Okay, so
Он
they
стоит, он
stop.
знает, что мы снимаем. Он идет туда, нет! Не подходи!
Hold it steady, hold it steady. So right here, it looks like that it's just standing there, probably minding his own business, probably on like a doobie break. So this is why I'd be saying like stop rolling those fat doobies. Looks like on a doobie breaks, and then it sees it, and then this happens. Yeah. It goes like Porco. It like starts doing that. It starts running like that, bro. Damn. With both arms up.
Снимай.
Снимай.
Там зум, есть зум? Прибавь изображение помочь, можешь?
Могу.
Двумя пальцами.
Прибавила.
Oh, it hit? Oh, it's coming, huh?
Я побежу.
Лёш.
Imagine you wait for it, it runs towards you, then hides, and then you wait for it, and it runs again, and then your car don't start. Yeah, at that point, bro, I would be like, okay, rest in peace, man. Yeah, go! Yeah, it's approaching.
At this exact moment, it seems the driver gets out of the car to check exactly what it is that's going on.
Man.
Is it a human being? Is it something else? Is it something that's following them, or is it just a coincidence?
Let's be real, if it was an American or a Canadian, they wouldn't have got out to look for it. Let's be real, man. Our people, nah, bro. They're like, they see something like that, oh, we out, because too many conspiracies out there, right? But in Russia, they're like, oh man, that bear, nothing, man. Let me go check the bear, man. It's just a teddy bear, probably. Teddy bear, hey, teddy bear, yeah, you cute, man. Let me get you for my daughter. My daughter loves teddy bear, okay? My son loves to play with teddy bears. He loves to go throw teddy bears. So let me take you, and my son will throw you. So yeah, that's what's happening. That's kind of like the energy I'm getting from that boy. So
well, this is what happened next.
Oh, hey, teddy bear.
Он бежит.
Oh crap! And it starts like doing that, huh? Go,
Он
go,
идет.
go, 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 go.
Он бежит.
Cover me, I'm reloading.
Аделина,
А?
открой, пожалуйста, окно и телефон, чтобы четко было. Он все равно нас не догоняет, он медленнее идет. И вот снимай, да, вот так вот.
Yeah, what is bro saying? Okay, RPG time, RPG time. Yeah, RPG.
Все, окей, давай, снимаю. Только главное едь.
It's still running. Okay, so they're baiting him, right? They're trying to play tag. That's free. I've seen this clip, but I haven't seen, like, this is the extended version. This is like the director's cut, right? I've never seen the director's cut like that.
To be getting closer and closer. The driver now asks the passenger in the back seat to open the window and capture it all on camera. However, things don't go as expected.
So we got more. Bro. It's just that dead even.
Да, домой.
The video ends abruptly without us knowing exactly what was going on. However, by the family's reaction, it does seem like it's legit. Bigfoot Tony YouTube channel was the first to analyze this video, so I'm not too sure what is the original source. What do you think is really going on here? Is this some type of unknown creature, or is it just someone pranking them?
I don't know, man, but you can make out, right, when it starts to run towards them, like, you know, it does that, like, moves his arms like that, bro. Nah, that's crazy. It's like a monkey that does it, but it's very big to be a monkey, I'll tell you that.
Everyone.
Merry Christmas!
The tree. Oh my god.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Something's behind the garage.
Now just imagine the following situation. You're enjoying Christmas evening with your family and you decide to tape that wonderful evening moment. When all of a sudden you capture what appears to be a large humanoid creature lurking just outside of your home. Well, this is sort of what happened with North by Wild West YouTube channel in 2014 in Minnesota. And this is what they captured on camera.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Minnesota.
The tree.
What was that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there, huh?
Did you see that?
Something's behind the garage. It came for Christmas. To wish you guys Merry Christmas, I feel like. It's alright. Hey! Oi! 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 Come here! Say Merry Christmas, will ya?
Did you see that?
No, what was it?
Oi!
It was really big.
Knock it
Oh my god,
off!
you see it?
Yeah.
Where?
Oh my god.
Where? Oh, there, okay.
No way.
Oi! Oi! Knock it off, you little twat!
Oh my god.
Knock it
are
off!
you getting this?
I think so.
It's just standing.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
dang. So not a Bigfoot, huh? But
We'll get in the woods.
One of the family members along with some others captured what appeared to be Bigfoot on camera. Now when they open the door they have a small dog and this dog actually senses this creature and runs directly at it. Things, however, don't go as expected. Check this out.
that's why you gotta put your puppers on a leash, man. There it goes.
Oh, there goes
A chihuahua-sized dog running towards it. It's over, man. We're cooked. Like a small-ass dog running towards that, man. It's over. Okay. There it goes. Man, guys, put your puppers on a leash.
Oh, we're scared of them.
Oh, damn. The dogs ran back like it's nothing.
Rap.
Come back. Okay, so it's going back.
Stay here, Rap. You stay here.
Yeah, it's barking at it.
At this moment, I thought that maybe the video was fake. However, the dog seems to be apprehensive and kind of scared. It doesn't seem to be wagging its tail anymore, and it's barking.
Yeah. I don't know about that. That is suspect indeed.
Like a scared dog would.
It's gonna come out in the clearing.
The thing is, they continue on recording, which was a smart move, and this is what they end up capturing on camera.
Oh my god.
Holy. What? Damn. It's like, oh yeah, that's like how I would go to my kitchen.
Oh my god.
3 in the morning.
Back inside, guys.
Just to make sure like nobody hears my, nobody hears me, nobody wakes up, because I don't want to wake anybody up, right? Like this is how I would go to my kitchen. But dang, what's that?
The thing is, when this video was published, it divided internet users between this is some sort of acting, it's fake, and others who would state that they have heard of Bigfoot in Minnesota and they had seen something similar. But it's very difficult to say. In some moments, I do believe that they're kind of acting and it could be fake, it could be just planned. It's kind of a coincidence that she's recording Christmas and all of a sudden she turns the camera to the window.
And captures
However,
it, right?
the dog's reaction really does seem legit, and when she finally captures Bigfoot in the clearing, it kind of looks like it's real, but I'm not too sure. What do you...
Yeah, no, here it feels like it's a little chubby, right? You know, it's like got a little weight to it, or a little bit too much weight to it, but before it felt like a slim humanoid creature. It doesn't mean that this doesn't look humanoid, it's just that this feels more like Bigfoot, but prior it felt like a humanoid creature.
What do you think?
Yeah, no suspect indeed, but maybe it
Now,
needs
like
GPS.
I said in the very beginning
Maybe it lost its way.
of the video, there are dozens of people who go missing in the woods for mysterious reasons. And in the early 1970s, Al Berry and his longtime friend Ron Moorhead went into the woods of the Sierra Nevada mountains in eastern California and collected a series of what appears to be Bigfoot vocalizations. And they called it the Sierra Sounds.
Ron speaking. Bah! So he imitating? Okay. Bah! Bah! I wonder what it's saying. Yeah, what if it's saying, hi, my name is Jeff.
Now there are many theories to what is really going on here. Some people say that this is actually fake, that it was actually illegal Chinese immigrants that were hiding deep in the woods. They did not want to be found, so they try to scare off the hunters with these mysterious sounds.
I mean,
however,
could be.
It is sad that experts and researchers have analyzed these sounds and have confirmed that this is not a human being. And if you compare these sounds with many other sounds that are recorded in different videos from all over the world, they are very similar.
I mean, it feels different though. It's like before it had like some musical vibe to it, right? Like woo woo, and here it's like yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just a terrible imitation, but
I hope you can hear this, Al.
okay, that one was kind of similar. Okay, I have to say, but not super similar.
Kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish, but you can hear it going off in the background right now. It's really kind of strange, just to say the least. It's been going off for about 15-20 minutes so far since it started.
15? 20?
It's probably only 200 feet, 300 feet from me right now. I don't know what it is.
In other words, this could be the real deal.
Yeah.
And maybe somewhere out there are unknown and unidentified creatures such as Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and many others that live somewhere hidden in our woods, caves, and mountains.
I mean, the amount of sightings that we've had, right? Surely not all of them are true. Surely not all of them are Bigfoot. But at least one or two gotta be out of 100. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to play the odds real quick. And knowing that we've had thousands of cases like that, thousands of sightings on videos. We've seen so many, numerous amount of videos. Some of them gotta be legit. And if some of them are legit, it's still gotta be it still is a lot, right? So how many Bigfoots do we have? Because you guys gotta understand that it's been captured all over Canada, it's been captured all over United States of America, captured all over US. I haven't necessarily seen too many videos. I cannot recall a single video that I've seen of a Bigfoot outside of US or Canada. So this one has mostly been, because UFOs, aliens, that's like worldwide situation, but Bigfoot mostly US and Canada, unless I'm wrong, but mostly, right? Mostly. I want to show you this as well. Yeah, check this out. Okay, let's finish this. Oh shit, so that's the head, that's the ass, paws, these are the arms, that's the back, the legs, yeah, it stood up. I would say, yeah, probably seemingly a credible video, guys, and he got real close. Dang, check this.
It was July 18th, 2025, when a family was crossing a mountain ridge in Alberta, Canada.
There we go.
Suddenly, they spotted something strange.
One of those like giants, like tall beings. Yeah, usually like the videos of these tall, so-called tall beings on mountains are considered to be the
something
giants.
massive, moving smoothly across the terrain. Its size was impossible to ignore, but the distance made it impossible to tell what or who was walking along that ridge that day.
Yeah, no, that's a tall motherfucker for sure.
One night, a man returned home and asked his wife to open the door, but she replied they weren't home. She and the kids had gone out. Confused, he looked up at the window and saw this.
Oh snap, so some movement? Oh crap. Yeah. Will it come back? Yeah, no, I guess anybody would freak out.
Figure staring back at him from inside the house. Shocked, he pulled out his phone and zoomed in to get a better look. But just a second later, it vanished. The house was locked. He was alone. So who or what was watching him from the window?
Right. Either they faked it, as in like they pre-planned this, or it's the real deal. And if it's the real deal, then I mean that's creepy for sure. Yeah, you
While out hiking in the woods, one of them snapped a quick photo with their dog, but they didn't realize what they'd captured until later.
Ooh,
behind them, a dark figure with glowing eyes can be seen. Many viewers argued no trained retriever would stay still with something like that looming behind. No one's confirmed where the photo came from, and the mystery remains unsolved.
Yeah, behind you. Don't look behind you.
This video was taken by a couple of bricklayers passing by, who slowed down.
Do not look behind you while watching these videos, man. I should have warned you in advance, but yeah, looks like somebody's trying to get in. Make sure you have locked your doors, guys. Tuck yourselves in the blankets, man. I know it's getting late.
Down in confusion.
He's fucking on AFK.
He's disconnected.
What the fuck's controlling him? Need to fucking nip right, bud. Sharpish.
Yeah, brother, pause, huh? He disconnected. Oh man, so other people walking, car coming. All right. If this is like a crazy, a weird effect, I don't know, man, how they would have done this, cause. Yeah, any of you know how to do an effect like that where one guy's paws and everything else is just moving?
What the fuck?
Yeah, beep beep, beep beep, move, bro. Be disconnected on the footpath, man. Like not in the middle.
What the fuck?
How many people just don't give a fuck?
Even with cars zooming past, the man didn't flinch. He just stood there, motionless, like he was paused or glitched in reality. The man wondered what was going on. I wonder if they ever got the answers.
What if man was trying to do a social experiment to see like what is the public's gonna think, right? Yeah. And nobody's giving a, I mean, the guy is recording, but I mean the car guys, they're probably not gonna come out of their car, right? Let's be real.
On July 23rd, 2025, someone staying in a forest spotted something strange floating above the clouds in Chiang Mai, Thailand.
UFO? There we go. Aliens! Mom, get the camera right now! Get the camera!
A dark object hanging midair. Too still to be a drone, too unclear to identify. The footage quickly spread online, leaving everyone confused and curious.
Holy
no one has figured out what it really was.
It feels like a metal object, right? Although, and it feels like that this is perhaps like the landing gear or something that would be standing on the ground, right? Still very hard to say and see right here. This one is visible, but what's underneath? Is it like, does it end right here? Or is the cloud covering the bottom part? Very hard to say, but the one that is sticking out, yeah, insane, man. Definitely seems like a metal object. Looks like it got holes as well, like all across, like tiny holes, right? And that one, this is like the darker metal, and this is like the lighter one where you also see the reflection.
But most think it's something not from this dimension. Do you have any clue?
Not
a man went out camping alone in the Sierra Nevadas this summer. He made camp, lit a fire, and shot a short video to show his girlfriend he was all set for the night. The video only reached her the next morning, and that's when she noticed something strange.
Oh crap, yeah, the eyes.
Two faint, glowing eyes just beyond the fire pit. He hadn't seen anything that night, but admitted he didn't feel completely alone. When he finally saw the eyes, it freaked him out. What was staring silently at him? Was he in danger?
Now suspect.
Kelvin Judd was just 14 when he first got lost in the Uinta Mountains. He was lucky. A rescue chopper with infrared spotted him in the forest. It ended with a happy reunion. But that close call didn't keep Kelvin out of the mountains. In 2016, 5 years later, Kelvin returned. This time on a camping trip with his family near Alsop Lake.
Okay, so
they were hiking off trail, high above the tree line, when something unusual caught Kelvin's eye.
There was something that was kind of light red, not bright red, sun-bleached red.
They found a backpack. It was sitting far from any trail, tucked against the slope. Then things got stranger. His brother spotted a boot, and when he picked it up, bones were still inside.
Oh.
They had found human remains.
We tried to immediately put the pieces together of who is this?
With no phone signal, they couldn't call it in. So Kelvin carefully checked the backpack. Inside, they found this.
To our surprise, an Australian driver's license with Eric Robinson's name on it.
Eric Robinson had vanished in the summer of 2011, 5 years earlier. He was an experienced hiker who had flown to Utah to explore the Highline Trail. When he disappeared, his wife came all the way from Australia to search for him. But after months with no sign, she went home without answers. The discovery brought closure, but also more questions. If Eric had planned to hike the Highline Trail, why was he found so far from it? How had he ended up here? Even now, the full story of what happened to Eric Robinson remains a mystery.
Dang.
While staying in a remote cabin deep in the mountains of Mazamitla, Jalisco, this person...
My question is that, so what's his... he said remains were found, right? So I guess the shoe was sticking out of the bag. When they pulled the shoe out, they also brought in his foot too, right? Or the remains rather. So does that mean that he was stuffed inside that bag? And if that's the case, I mean, a person wouldn't be stuffed inside unless he was lost and he was trying to sleep while being inside his bag, I guess. But normally you wouldn't do that, right? Yeah, if a person is dying, he wouldn't stay inside his stuffed bag or wouldn't stuff himself in a bag. So did someone stuff him? I mean, yeah, got a lot of questions with that, but
noticed something disturbing. A humanoid figure silently watching them from behind a car.
Aliens!
Whether it was someone stalking them, a cruel prank, or something more mysterious remains unknown.
Seems kind of fake.
Logically, they didn't try to investigate who or what was hiding behind the car. And honestly, can you blame them?
I mean, if
in early 2016, something strange disturbed the quiet streets of Forest Grove, Oregon.
I love it when something strange disturbs the quiet neighborhood. Okay, we need... Yeah, that's way too much disturbance for sure. Yeah, hey! Knock it off! Knock it off,
For 2
man.
weeks, a high-pitched noise echoed through the air near Gales Creek Road, a sound people described as a warped flute or a mechanical scream. It
2
came
weeks.
and went without warning, piercing through homes and unsettling nerves. Over 200 people reported it. City workers checked everything: gas lines, wildlife, old pipes, attic fans, but nothing ever explained it. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the sound stopped. In late February, it went silent, and by March, the case was quietly closed.
Dang.
But the source is still unknown. Locals still wonder what caused that sound.
Yeah, perhaps it was an alien that got lost and it was calling the Diddy with his language. Hey, Diddy, take me out, man.
A person living remote in the woods
tall
caught something
thing.
on their backyard security camera that creeped them out.
It says the tall thing. Holy, yo, that's the Ant-Man. That is the Ant-Man.
A tall, pale figure
No, honestly, looks like an alien, right?
stepped out from the dark. It wore black and stood around 8 to 9 feet tall, towering
my
over the
God.
trees.
You know that Las Vegas, famous Las Vegas incident, right? The backyard situation where, you know, on cops' the cops' dashboard, dash cam, they captured something falling from the sky, and it fell in the direction where they heard the report. So family was basically they saw something falling from the sky, and there was a family in Las Vegas that claimed something fell in their backyard. And they put 2 and 2 together. Obviously, they discovered the fact that something fell, and the family claimed that there were 8 to 9 feet tall aliens in their backyard. Oh, shit. That was one of the massive story, I believe, back in 2023, something like that, right? Yeah, and that story gained a lot of traction and gained a lot of followers too, and a lot of people were believing the story. And then, of course, we had the Miami Mall situation, which, yeah, we never really got anything out of it. But I don't think there were aliens at the Miami Malls, but we honestly don't know what happened. There's something went down at the Miami Malls, right? But we just don't know what went down. So yeah, hundreds of police, I believe they said 60, 70 cars showed up. Hundreds of policemen and women showed up there, and not a single body cam footage was released. Makes you question, makes you think, right? None of them released a statement, or the official statement, rather, the official, like, collective statement, but no individual accounts, no footage shared whatsoever, which is weird. But the official statement was like, yeah, it was just some kids, you know, playing fireworks. You don't send hundreds of policemen over some kids lighting up fireworks in a mall, right? I get it. Okay, you don't want to light up. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, you don't want to light up fireworks, and if somebody's having to do that or doing that, yeah, you want to definitely send a car or two, or maybe an SUV, or maybe 5 cars max. But 60, 70 vehicles, hundreds of policemen and women out there. Nah, man, that's yeah, something went down. I don't think it was aliens though, but if there were shit, but I don't know though.
Its eyes glowed, giving it an unnatural look. The next day, there were no signs of anyone having been there. No footsteps, no tracks, nothing.
Suspect.
The homeowner wondered if it was a prank, but that seemed unlikely. No one really lives nearby. So what was it then?
And that tall, huh? Now this is weird, like 10 arms, like basically the general depiction that you usually hear about them so-called 8 feet tall alien twats, right?
In Springfield Township, New Jersey, 16-year-old Jeanette De Palma vanished on August 7th, 1972. 6 weeks later, a dog reportedly dragged home part of her arm, leading authorities to a place locals still call Devil's Teeth, where her remains were discovered. Jeanette's body was found lying on top of the cliff. Around her were pieces of wood arranged in strange shapes, along with what looked like small crosses. Locals believed it was a ritual killing.
Yeah,
but investigators claimed they never found any official signs of occult activity. Due to the condition of her remains, no autopsy was performed. Her death was simply labeled suspicious. Over time, the details got murky. Her purse was said to have been found, but there's no official record of it. Hulu's Out There, Crimes of the Paranormal, recently highlighted missing evidence and early missteps during the investigation. A group called Justice for Jeanette is now pushing to have her body exhumed for new forensic testing, hoping modern tools can reveal what 1970s tech couldn't. Some still claim a satanic Bible was found in her room. Others speak of rumors about dark gatherings near Watchung Reservation. But Jeanette's friends describe her as a kind, church-going teenager, someone who didn't dabble in anything dark. Still, people wonder, was it the work of a serial killer or something tied to cult activity?
Yeah, we need Detective Dokes on that one immediately, bro. That's suspect indeed, for sure.
During a hike, this man suddenly realized he wasn't alone.
Wow! Being stalked. Oh, that's a bear or a tiger? Oh, the bear. Yeah,
nice
there
bear.
we go. Yeah, maybe throw a Twinkie at it. Yeah, throw a Twinkie. It's gonna be alright.
A black bear was following him. He didn't run. Instead, he kept walking slowly, glancing back to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, no, you gotta maintain eye contact. Don't run. Just don't run. Don't run. Because if you run, it's gonna start running towards you.
Fortunately, there was no charge, no chase, and the man left the forest safely.
And you cannot outrun it, right? Yeah, so...
This person living deep...
That's basically what I gathered from watching all of these videos, man. I guess it's good knowledge to have. When push comes to shove, I don't know how this will go, but it's good knowledge. Appreciate you subscribing, Matthew. Welcome on in. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
In the woods, began hearing strange noises echoing from the forest.
Just some insects that are angry, I guess. It's just a family business, right? Just some family shit gone wrong. So the entire family's like beefing right now. They're beefing. There it goes.
The sound would move east in short bursts, then stop, changing locations about 4 times before falling silent. At first, they thought it might be a drone, but something about it didn't quite add up.
Nah, that's not a drone.
Later, someone suggested it was just a male cicada making mating calls.
Bruh,
but after
nah, man. How do you know it was making those mating calls? Like, how do you know about that? Where do you find that out? How do you find that information out, huh? Because that's very specific. Very specific.
Listening to recordings of cicadas, I wasn't convinced.
That sounds different. Yeah, shake that booty.
So, what do you think these sounds could be?
Kind
A
of similar,
woman
but
named
not
Liliana
really.
from Chile filmed something strange in the ocean.
Figures in water. Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen this. Yeah, it's just like too much. Too many. Don't know what it is, right? Dolphins, perhaps.
Her
I don't
footage
know.
showed
Sharks?
several figures gliding
This feels like a person. I just saw like the arm move, like guy was swimming.
just beneath the waves. Some believe it was simply a pod of whales, but others claimed the shapes looked eerily human, almost like mermaids.
Oh dang!
What made
So that was supposed to not be a human. So oh crap! Because yeah, it felt like that. Yeah, it looked like the guy was just moving its arm to swim.
it even creepier, the timing. This was filmed just after a powerful earthquake struck off the coast of Russia. Could something ancient have been disturbed beneath the sea?
Suspect.
In Indonesia, a man was enjoying a peaceful day at home when his dogs suddenly went wild, barking at the road like they sensed something. But when he stepped outside, nothing was there. Curious, he decided to check his home security footage, and what he saw left him chilled.
Oh snap! Oh this. Ooh. Oh dang!
A ghost-like figure appeared, walking along the street twice.
And now it's coming back. Yeah, nothing to see here, fellas. It's just Harry Potter. You know, just having those. He's just thinking around, you know, just walking and thinking. But that's bizarre. You see just the legs. Yeah, the dog's following too.
He ruled out a camera glitch. His own image appeared crystal clear, and he saw nothing with his own eyes.
Dang.
So what exactly did his dogs and his camera see that day?
That's crazy. So he couldn't see with his own eyes, but the camera apparently saw it. The dogs are seeing it, which okay, yeah, we do know that dogs can see certain aspects, certain things that we can't. And it's been scientifically proven that we as humans, we don't see the whole reality. Like the percentage was something like 0.0035%. Yeah, let me actually show you the exact quote.
While walking along a quiet beach in Mexico at night, this person suddenly heard something disturbing.
Yeah, we're gonna go 5 seconds back. Yeah, this is the exact one. Humans only perceive about 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum as visible light, a tiny fraction of the reality around us. This is insane. So we don't even see 0.1%. Forget about 1%, right? We don't even see 0.1%. Not even 0.01. It's 0.0035. That's an insane number. So yeah, man, all of your life problems, all of our life problems that we face, it's based off of the 0.0035% of what we see, and our brains, you know, then process that information and then make us happy or sad, or make us believe something is wrong or something is right, just based off of 0.0035% of the reality that we witness. Makes you wonder, right? Makes you think.
Suddenly heard something disturbing.
Oh, run, bro, run. Oh, dang. Oh,
Hauntingly
shit.
beautiful.
That was scary, man. It felt like that something was getting near, and I was like, he's gonna grab its leg, bro.
Beautiful music drifting from the sea, as if someone or something was singing just offshore.
Yeah.
Could the recent earthquake have disturbed something deep in the ocean?
I don't know, man. That was close.
Some believed it might have been whales, but the melody felt too close.
Mermaid?
Others began to wonder.
Mermaid,
was it something stranger? A mermaid's call.
There we go. Yeah.
During a trip to Guatemala, a family visited a beautiful recreation park with a long forest trail. At the end of their walk, they met a park ranger who shared an unsettling story. One night he heard the dogs howling strangely. Curious and unsure why, he began recording the area. Later, when he reviewed the footage at home, he was shocked to see this.
Something is gonna walk by? Uh-oh. Yeah, something is there, but could just be a person. Oh shit, the white dress, huh? So the dog's barking at it. Oh no.
A figure dressed in white can be seen in the distance. And then a chilling cry pierces the silence. Real or not, the footage left the family deeply
baffled,
unsettled.
Yeah, let's give you the short version and then I'll give you the big one. Pause, okay? You're gonna get some. Roll it.
Moving towards him. When it got close enough, it looked like an egg-shaped aircraft turned sideways. It flew.
Point to be noted. An egg-shaped UFO.
Flew down to the field in front of him where it extended 3 landing legs. As it landed on his farm, Antonio turned around to run for his life. But as he made a run for it, a 5-foot creature appeared several feet in front of him. It wore gray coveralls and a large helmet, and had small bug eyes in its head. Just then, 3 more identical creatures appeared and quickly surrounded him.
That is the short version. So he's saying gray aliens. Guy was named Antonio. You put 2 and 2 together, obviously you get a 3, right? So if your name is Antonio, now you know why you should not be watching this video. But if you're gonna still proceed, may God bless you, okay? Check this out. Shout out to the homie Operation Blue Book. So gray aliens, interesting. We'll talk about grays in just a second, but
it's worth detailing this event because it may truly be the first of its kind, at least that we are aware of, in modern times, showing all the signs we now know, where a human first sees a UFO, then it lands, humanoids approach and abduct the individual, who as a consequence has physical scars, emotional scars, loss of memory, confusion, and through hypnosis, remembers gruesome and disturbing details, including sometimes a sexual assault. Antonio Villas-Boas was only 23 years old.
yeah, 23. He was taken way too quick, man. So the aliens are worded him, man. That's crazy, bro. That's insane, man. So we also apparently have Epstein genes in them aliens too. That's insane, though.
When the engine of his tractor died, it was in the dark of night because it spared him the heat of the high sun on a spring day in Brazil on October 16th, 1957. He was tilling the fields near São Francisco de Sales when he saw what he thought to be a red star in the sky. He had seen the light nights before with his brother Joao, who confirmed the sighting, but it was at a greater distance then. It was beaming lights in every direction, and while Antonio wanted to investigate, he couldn't get closer because the light always moved away.
Point to be noted, X-ship UFO, right? And happened in 1957, so 10 years later, Roswell crashed. And also it was the gray aliens. We recently made the video about the Greada Treaty, right? If you've seen that video, you know why this is big. Those of you that do not know, I'll definitely link you towards the end, but the short version is the gray aliens are the bad ones with whom we've had made, the US government have made treaties and signed deals just to acquire their weapons and all that, their technology. In return, we're letting them abduct people. That's the conspiracy theory, okay? Doesn't mean it's real, doesn't mean it's fake. That's the conspiracy theory. It may or may not be real, but yeah, it's a big one, so let's continue.
Meanwhile, his brother Joao simply ran away. That was smart. Now, with Antonio alone, his brother further away attending to other matters, the light seemed much bigger and possibly closer. With his tractor dead, he decided to get closer on foot, only to realize this time the red light came towards him, hovering just above the crop, so close he could make out its X-shaped form. It was a metallic craft with a rotating cupola.
Not X-shaped, that's just the YouTube captions having trouble. Egg-shaped, right? Crazy.
X-shaped form It was a metallic craft with a rotating cupola on top. It extended 3 legs and landed. That's when Boas decided it's time to run away towards his tractor, away from the craft. But when his tractor wouldn't start, he decided to run towards the farm. And that's when a humanoid figure, perhaps 5 foot at most, wearing a helmet and a gray tight-fitting overall suit, seized him and held him in a paralyzed state. He saw its eyes, small.
So gray suit on, right? So could have been like any type of alien twat, but it got a gray suit on, right? And also, you know what? This is another one of those conspiracy theory. Yeah, my mind is running in every single direction. You must have heard, and this is coming from Dr. Greer, right? Dr. Greer. So I know some of you will believe it, some of you won't, and that's perfectly fine though. But Dr. Greer also, Steven Greer also have said that some of the abductions have happened, or most of the abductions have been happening because of it's United States government essentially abducting people dressed up as aliens, right? There have been some real, but most of them are by the government. So what if the fact that he said dressed up as a gray suit on, it just sparked that memory, right? I remember him saying that. Yeah, what if? I mean, you gotta definitely view this story from all different angles. And there's another conspiracy theory that suggests that some of the gray aliens are literally us from the future. You ever heard that? If you've heard that, you know what I'm talking about, right? Insane indeed. Real quick though, before I forget, I gotta shout out the homie Robert, shout out to the homie Treka. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel. And I know just recently I uploaded the video where the homie Shaba just dropped a $50 super thanks. Thank you guys so much for the 2, for the 5, for the 10s, for the 50, for nothing as well, for watching, for everything. You guys gotta do none of it, man. Just want to take a second to appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel, man. It means a lot, man. Yeah, I joke around a lot, but it means a lot, man. Thank you. Let's get back to the content here. Boo boo, roll it.
Small and blue, and it made noises like barks or yelps. Its eyes, small and blue, and it made noises like barks or yelps. That's when 3 additional beings came and joined the first one in subduing Boas, and then they dragged him on board the craft. Once inside, they stripped him completely naked and covered him with a strange shiny gel from head to toe, he said. He was led into a large circular room where he saw...
So they were trying to like lube him up? Pause. That's crazy, man. Damn, bro. That's wild, bro. Holy. So they... Yeah, he should have filed a police complaint, man. Like
strange symbols written on the wall above the doorway. Symbols he has been able to recreate and draw many times since, consistently. There they took a blood sample from his chin and then moved him to a 3rd room where they just left him alone and closed the door.
Holy.
He felt some gas being pumped into the room and he smelled an odor, a stench so bad it made him ill for a while. And then it subsided. As he felt more or less normal again, a humanoid female walked into the room. To his astonishment, he was aroused. He found her...
Yeah! Hey! Whoa, 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 whoa! That's crazy. So, alien baddies, right? And then he was aroused. Of course, man. Damn, bro. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Antonio, I was not expecting that from you, man. Why?
Attractive, although not quite... To his astonishment, he was aroused. He found her attractive, although not quite human. She had humanesque features, but she was smaller, with a pointed chin and cat-like eyes. Her hair was platinum in color, somewhere between silver and blonde. Her eyes watery blue, and she had red pubic hair, he recalled a detail. She indicated she wanted to have sex with him, and they did. A detail Boas recalled later was that she never kissed him. Her mouth never touched his, but she nibbled at his face throughout their sexual intercourse, until she came, with a growl, and then he came too.
Bro,
shortly
what the hell? What are we... Okay, so, damn, yeah, that's the thing, man. This is why men R-word stories go nowhere. This is why everybody take it as a joke, right? Because if a man get R-word, it's like nothing, right? It's like nothing. But okay, man, if that's true, then I guess he had one-of-a-kind experience. I mean, literally, you can take it metaphorically and be like, haha, that's funny, but not literally, that's one-of-a-kind experience. Getting busy with an alien baddie. You know, it doesn't get any crazier than that.
Thereafter, she stood up, smiled at him, pointed at her belly, and then up to the sky, suggesting she had something in her stomach now that was headed to the stars. That's what he understood. She was going to be pregnant, and they would have a child together she would raise, somewhere out in space.
Whoa!
He sensed she was happy and relieved it was over, but in him, anger and confusion were boiling. He felt he had been manipulated and not fully in control or understanding what he was feeling, nor could he come to terms with his arousal and attraction to the humanoid woman.
Exactly, bro. But it's not his fault, bro. It's not his fault. Yeah, like his mind was probably racing. He saw like an alien baddie like walk in and move like the way she would have moved. I can only imagine. And he saw what he saw, and then bam! They manipulated him. They really manipulated him. We need to file the complaints right now immediately. Any officer, any sheriff watching this video, we need you.
As a farmer, he felt he had been used the way a stallion is used for the sperm and sole benefit of his captors. After the female left, Boas took in his surroundings. As his clothes were returned to him and he was left alone, he became calm. He realized no harm would come to him further. He noticed smooth walls of metal without windows, and he described their helmets exactly the same way for the rest of his life, never wavering in.
I guess that alien baddie just wanted to have like Homelander, right? So I guess this is how Homelander was probably born. Yeah, so probably. And okay, if the story is true, crazy indeed. And you know what? Jokes aside, let's get serious for a second. In the last few months, and even a year or two, we've heard stories, right, on an official level. I'm gonna try to pull right after I say the story and show you the because I'm gonna speak from memory and then I want to get to the exact quote as well. But we've heard stories but it's some females, okay, earthlings, okay, human Homo sapien females have been pregnated by aliens. That has been said in an official capacity. But this is of course, it seems like that they use the man, like pause, like literally, right? So one of the alien baddie used a man in this case. I mean, for what reason? Like they want to create like a hybrid? Is this the US military dressed up as aliens trying to do that? Or is it a fake story? Or like what's the reason? Let me know in the comments. Let me just try to find that exact quote as well.
Any detail. He was led outside and watched from a distance as the craft sped upwards in a southerly direction, exactly to where he believed the female had told him they would go. It was 5:30 a.m. when he finally got home. 4 hours had passed since he encountered the UFO. Following the event, Boas suffered nausea and random periods of weakness where he had to just stay in bed, and he had lesions and scalping on his skin in multiple places that appeared and disappeared seemingly at random. When these symptoms persisted, including loss of appetite, burning in the eyes, as well as the ongoing lesions, Boas contacted a doctor at the National School of Medicine in Brazil, Dr. Olavo Fontes, who worked with a UFO research group in the US. When Dr. Fontes examined Boas, he determined he was suffering from a low-level radiation poisoning. Boas was interviewed by multiple researchers, including Bruce Rogers, and he was able to experience the entire episode of the...
Yeah, I've been finding like a lot of different sources saying a whole lot of stuff, but I'm gonna put this one on. So the Indian Express, the Canadian Express, or the Indian Express, no, jokes aside. So the Indian Express, is the truth really out there? Pentagon reports talks of encounters, the sexual encounters between aliens and humans. Oh, shit. Yeah, I remember hearing the story. So this was back in 2022, and I've also heard like other stories too. So this is just one source. Of course, there are like I googled it, and there are a bunch of sources coming. Not saying this is true, but also not saying this is false. It's just something that we heard a couple of months ago, or in this case, more than 3 years ago. Where have the times going? Because in my mind, I thought it was a couple of months ago. Holy crap, it was 3 years ago. I'm now realizing in real time. Time is moving so fast. Because in my mind, it was a couple of months ago, or a year ago, or What? More than 3 years ago? So this is an archive article published on April 7th, 2022. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so the stories are there of, aliens getting with Earthlings and all that, so yeah.
From a low-level radiation poisoning. Boas was interviewed by multiple researchers, including Bruce Ruggs, and he was able to experience the entire episode of the abduction without hypnotic regression. Researchers and skeptics have debated the validity of his story. The first argument being he was too much of a simpleton, an illiterate peasant farmer, to have made up such a story without reference to any modeling stories. Skeptics...
So you're saying that he was a simp, a simpleton? For those of you that do not know, simp is one of the... it's like the new generation, new kids word. If they see a man that is like all about like chasing a woman, you know, in those ways, he's considered a simp, right? That's the new word. So man literally called him a simpleton, okay.
To have first argument being he was too much of a simpleton, an illiterate peasant farmer, to have made up such a story without reference to any modeling stories. Skeptics pointed out that he could have read about George Adamski fantasy encounters in a Brazilian magazine called O Cruzeiro, but it had never published a story about abduction or a sexual encounter with an alien at all. Doctors examined him shortly after the event and documented the symptoms, including physical symptoms. For this reason, we have physical proof. Bruce Ruggs was convinced he was telling the truth because the detail had to be dragged out of him. He was embarrassed, Bruce said, and he was angry. He didn't revel in the retelling of the experience at all. He stuck to the same version of this story, down to drawing the symbols above the door, the female, the humanoids, and the craft, describing the front and back of their bodysuit, the uneven silvery patterns, and...
let's check this out for a second. So intense front, intense dazzling, red light on belt, thick white gloves, uniform is a silvery color, and tight-fitting white shoes with thick soles, lights. Okay, so he's describing like what kind of suit they were wearing. Now, interesting indeed. So he also had radiation burns on. Yeah, so that's like one of the big evidence supporting his claims because of the radiation marks and all that, right? But what are your thoughts? You believing the story or not at all?
Tubes sticking out of it while fitted into their clothes. They all had a red badge in the center of what he described as their uniform. And he also said their gloves showed they had 5 fingers. They had a belt, but no signs of buttons, seams, zippers, or openings at all. Perhaps the fog, the gel, the fumigation, he suggested. Perhaps it was all for her benefit. The sexual details of his story raised eyebrows, even among UFO researchers at the time, who were more focused on UFO sightings, UFO crashes, and government and military analysis reports. It was, after all, the 1950s. Genetic experts also pointed out it would be preposterous to imply our DNA was compatible with that of a humanoid alien, and not so to just have intercourse and make a baby. It's similar in nature to the Fermi paradox, that the travel is too vast. We can't get past the light speed barrier. Therefore, the whole argument for this being real falls on its face. It can't be true. To that I...
Yeah, right, and also, do they actually speak English? Yeah, well, yeah, they probably don't speak English, right? I know, like, you're probably thinking, telepathy, skizzle, telepathy. Yeah, I get it. Maybe, okay, perhaps. Maybe that is true. That's what we've been hearing, we've heard. That's what we're still hearing about, like telepathy, this, that, the other. Perhaps that is the God-honest truth. And okay, so let's move on from there. Now, second thing would be, hey, like, if they are from different planets, different star system, and if they come here, yeah, right, like, they're probably gonna bring in a certain disease that we've not witnessed or seen on this planet, and that could actually hurt us and harm us in many different ways, or perhaps it could get rid of us all, right? So there's this thing called, like diseases from different planets. Yeah, and we probably also have our own planet diseases that they perhaps might not be compatible with, but they are light years ahead, right? Technologically, medically, so perhaps they can get away with it. I guess that would be the counter argument. I don't know, man. So the story definitely has holes, for sure, but it's one of those stories that is a fascinating one, for sure.
To say the following is a brief rebuttal. Our own science increasingly suggests traveling past the speed of light is not just theoretical, it's plausible through wormholes we're yet to discover, using energies we're yet to discover. As to the DNA, we don't know enough about ourselves, our origins, and them and their origins, to assume no relations, no kinship. We don't know enough to exclude the possibility of alien hybrid programs or interstellar travel. We don't know enough to exclude any possibilities at this time in our evolutionary history.
Yeah.
Let's consider, before anyone else suggested this in 1957, Antonio Villas-Boas brought this forward and insisted on it being the truth. Why not just take him at his word and leave his memory alone? That the story is what it appears to be, the truth. Why make up such a thing and stick to it for life? Lying requires so much more maintenance work and accuracy tracking than does the...
It's one of those things with even Bob Lazar too, right? And Bob Lazar is considered to be one of the best whistleblowers to date, and genuinely people believe him way more. Of course, some of you, and in general, a lot of people would also not believe him, but when I say a lot of people, it's still not a lot when you compare Bob Lazar's story with somebody like Lou Elizondo, Dr. Steven Greer. Not trying to like diss them, they also perhaps brought in some really good information, or yeah, they have brought in some really good information which may or may not be true, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that Bob Lazar is considered to be one of the best whistleblowers, one of the most believable, yeah, that's the word, one of the most believable whistleblower to date. Yeah, he has been sticking to his word. He has said the same thing over and over for years, if not decades, right? So yeah, and seems like that this guy's going about the same thing. If the story is not true, then I guess he believes what he's saying is true, which does not mean it's true. It just happens to be that he believes it is true. Now we all have this thing called like memory, right? And memory is usually not the real for example, like when if somebody describes what happened like a week ago, they are not going to be able to describe 100% the details, because they're likely describing from memory. They're like looking within their mind, inside their mind, and just, you know, picturing the events that perhaps transpired, and they're telling you the story. So it doesn't mean that they're lying. It's just that over time, the more the time passes, the more blurry the memory gets. This is why you cannot believe like everything a person says. It doesn't mean that the person is lying. It's just that memory is not the best testimony, right? You need to record it. You need to back it up. This is why, you know, it's like I'm gonna use an extreme example. It would be like a dream. You know, when you wake up, sometimes you remember the dream, but more often than not, you forget about it. And even when you try to remember, you're gonna get certain elements of the dream, but you're not gonna get all. You're not gonna get it all. You're not gonna get all the details of the dream. This is why memory is not the best thing to rely on. So either the story is legit, or it's fake, or he believes it's true, and he believes it, so.
The truth. Truth is just effortless. Antonio Villas-Boas later became a lawyer, a husband, and father of 4 children. He stuck to the same version of this story until he died on January 17th in 1991.
1991?
As to the repeatable patterns learned from this event,
Bob Lazar came out around the same time too, right? Like 1992, some around that. Yeah, let me know if any of you know of his very first interview. Put it in the comments. What year was it?
The sexual encounter, the arousal, the sperm collection, Barney Hill experienced it 4 years later. Hundreds, if not thousands, have experienced the same since, suggesting...
Yeah, sperm collection is one of those things, and yeah, I mean, we've heard, he's not the only one. We've had other stories too, which are very similar.
This idea of hybrid beings created in a systematic way through serial abduction, and for women include the terrifying thought of lost pregnancies, is a big program involving concerted, deliberate efforts across the globe. The making of multiple generations of children to be raised among the stars, to become a race or multiple races away from Earth, or perhaps to return to Earth at a future time, some have suggested. A topic.
Right. Does that make sense to you guys? Like the story, as if true, right? If true, does that make sense? Does it make sense where these twats, these alien bimbos, would come down and try to, you know, I guess have kids with humans so they can make a hybrid race? For what reason? For testing? For, hey, we like it, you know, because humans are cute, you know, together we can make something cute. Does it make sense? Does it not? Let me know in the comment. First of all, roll it.
When I was stationed at Portland Air National Guard, my job there was an airfield manager, so I would interface and work a lot with the F-15 pilots at the unit. And so there had been an airspace incursion that had taken place when I was still at the time at the Guard. And I remember kind of talking to some of the pilots about it, and I was like, what was that? And they're like, we can't really talk about it. No one really wanted to address it. And so from what I'd gathered, that had been likely a UAP. And so that kind of was my perspective. Granted, I also grew up in the generation of the X-Files and, you know, I don't know if you remember 94 Independence Day. So, like, for me specifically, I didn't look at it with, like, a crazy lens and perspective. I'm like, you know, you never know if, you know, we're the only ones out there, essentially.
But why did you assume that if it's a top secret incursion that he couldn't talk about, that it wasn't just a military craft from another country?
Because of the way that he was discussing it.
What did he say?
So he had been, he didn't want to, from what I gather, get taken off flight status. And he's like, I really can't discuss it. We couldn't really like identify it essentially, and it had outperformed them. And so that was my first, from a military perspective, kind of experience with someone who basically, you know, there's a stigma within the flight community. Do you want to lose your security clearance? What, you know?
Yeah, that was something that you would hear that I remember like 10 years ago, you would hear that like pilots were seeing crap, but they were not allowed to discuss it because, yeah, if they talked about it, they would lose their jobs, right? That's something that we heard 10 years ago. But after the fact, they were required to talk about it. So they were allowed, if they ever see something, hey, report it to the FAA or Homeland Security or some crap like that.
Is there this level of crazy that people kind of brand that will stick with you and kind of ruin your career?
But doesn't he have instrumentation on his jet?
Well, at the time, right? So it's an older platform, but he really didn't want to even talk about it. And I bring that up because now with our investigation and the task force that I run, actually the reason why the task force was formed was because of an event that happened at Eglin Air Force Base where both myself, Representative Matt Gaetz, and Representative Tim Burchett actually had responded and gone to investigate multiple Air Force pilots that had come forward in regards to UAP incidences that had occurred, and they were alleging that the Air Force was covering it up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was that, and like I'm happy to go into detail on that one, but what I will tell you is the stuff that I saw at Eglin, how the military responded, me being, you know, a former service member, and then ultimately what I saw with the pushback of the military not even wanting to share with Congress information, which is a big problem because when you have Congress that's supposed to be the advocate and voice for the American people, the oversight body, and you're being denied access not just from a base commander, but high level up at the Pentagon, even Secretary of Defense, it's a problem.
Do you think that it's possible that these are U.S. vehicles that are top secret?
I definitely think that there's a level of advanced technology that the U.S. government has. And I think that tech can be housed within the defense contractor realm. And of course, some information is going to be classified. But I can also tell you...
Some info is classified? Man, everything by the looks of it is classified right now. We demand answers! We demand answers! The public demand answers!
And this might sound crazy, but based on our investigations and stuff that we've seen, okay, there is definitely something that I think would rival what we know currently with physics and a tech that potentially is out there that we don't have the ability to reproduce because it would basically...
Anti-gravity tech? What are we talking about, man? Anti-gravity? Is that the one? Also, you guys gotta factor in Lockheed as well, right? Lockheed, Skunkworks, Deepops, and, you know, take into account, like, other whistleblowers that have came forward, talked about certain aspects. The U.S. Army shoots a UFO during what? During the drone wave, New Jersey 2024. Okay, I have not seen that clip. That's an insane one. But, yeah, so, and just recently, right? We've had Ross Coulthart, right? Ross Coulthart, people actually view him as a really credible journalist. He came forward and he said some things. For example, recently he came out and said that the Tic Tac UFO that was recorded back in 2004 and that was pursued by Commander Fravor, the pilot jet that was also in Joe Rogan, Ross Coulthard said that that UFO apparently was made at Lockheed. Oh shit! Basically made by the US, the United States of America, by us humans, right? The Homo sapiens. So after that, people were like having trouble. People were having issues believing that, and a lot of people started looking like this. And yeah, a lot of people were like, okay, it's time to call in Sergeant James Dokes as well, because at this point we do not know what is real, what is not real anymore. So you got a whole lot of that too. Now I want to show you guys this short little clip, and we're gonna get back to this one as well. Real quick though, I gotta shout out the homie Steven Smith, Sunflower Miss Pixie, and the homie Matt Webster for the super thanks. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel, and shout out to you guys for also becoming brand new members. Justin, Alan, Epic Gamer, Thomas, you guys gotta do NanoFed, man. But those of you that support the channel the way you do, thank you guys so much for all the love, man. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Now let's actually, first of all, let me show you this. So she calls David Grush, Chris Mellon, Lou Elizondo full of crap, but why? Roll it.
The problem is I've reached out to some of the biggest names in UFO lore, okay? And they all got skiff flu, and we call it skiff flu, meaning like the day that the skiff was open, that we reserved it, we're like, we're here, like, come on, come brief us. They get sick, or
and
their dog dies.
And they didn't recover and come back?
They didn't recover, and then they just don't talk to us anymore. So
they ghost you?
They ghost us.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, if you're not going to tell me to skiff, then you're full of crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
Well, and that's the thing though. So she calls them full of crap since they are called out sick that day. So they said they were sick that day. They were supposed to reveal their alien evidence inside a classified skiff. And the skiff, yeah, let's get down to that part here, gang. Roll it.
Basically be like dropping a cell phone that we don't have the ability to reproduce, because it would basically be like dropping a cell phone right off back during the time of maybe caveman. So like we just don't have the tech to develop it yet. What I can also tell you is, based on our interviews, and this has been something that you can go back and watch with the congressional hearings, but I was actually able to ask some of the witnesses, you know, what are these things? And they keep saying interdimensional, and then when you talk about the interdimensional aspect of, you know, are these things pre-existing, maybe outside of what we currently know as our own dimension? That stuff can kind of all sound crazy, but at the end of the day, you know, my job as an investigator is to receive all the information, decipher it, and then ultimately from a congressional aspect, if you do have contractors that are withholding information or operating outside of the purview of the federal government, I mean, there's budgetary issues, but there's definitely something that I can tell you with confidence that exists that we don't know how to explain currently.
Okay, that's good and all, but can you also confidently show us too? Like, can a brother perhaps get to, I mean, we've got like solid UFO videos as well, right? Like, I'm making sure I play something in the background too while we're on topic at hand. But can a brother perhaps also get to see like pictures of aliens, like these twats, like these interdimensional beings? And you know, can you get like videos of them? Can we get like actual pictures of them? Like the video if you agree. Like the video if you're with We Demand Answers, because we certainly do demand answers. This is good. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love the fact that Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is coming out talking about her experience and sharing what she knows. But again, there is this called, this is so-called classified skiff. Cannot say some things, cannot talk about this, cannot talk about that. I mean, damn, man, for how many decades we're gonna do it? It's been over a century, damn it, or gonna be a century, I guess. It's been 70, 80 years, right? Damn, man.
So when you say that it operates outside our understanding of physics, what specifically are you saying? Like, what happened?
To I guess break it down in simple terms is that I think that some of the tech that exists, that whatever these things have, these energy things have,
energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. I think that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have, and that's not something that I came up with on my own. That's based on stuff that we've seen. That's based on information that we've been told. And then also too, I think that there's this historical aspect of, you know, this gets into the deeper theories and concepts of religion, and I think the history that we currently know, and that kind of spins off into another topic of, you know, you have the modern day Bible, you have this aspect of Bibles that, or books of the Bible that have been removed that explain and kind of touch on these topics. And I think that we're in a time and age where you have such a vast amount of information that we have access to via social media, via your cell phone, via the internet.
Bruh.
And so it's really changing the
Bruh.
way that we understand, you know, the origins of life and the spiritual reality that we know.
When you
currently.
say interdimensional beings, that they know that these are interdimensional beings, how do they know
How?
Based on testimony would be based on witnesses that have come forward. But what I can tell
that? So
you
the
is
witnesses just were told that they were interdimensional?
that they've seen things. And what I can tell you without getting into classified conversations is that there have been incidences that I believe where very credible people have reported that there have been movement outside of time and space.
Yeah. So, now, I mean, listen, she is a congresswoman, right? She is a congresswoman talking about all of that. So there is some weight to what she's saying here. But where is that damn evidence at, man? Where is that UFO alien disclosure, man? Where's Project Blue Balls at? Is it like Project Blue Beam? Is it Project Blue Balls? Yeah, what is going on? I read the comments and people are going insane. Like, a lot of people are saying, okay, so yeah, cool, that's cute, but where's the evidence? Where's the ¿Qué pasa? ¿Por qué? Like, where is the evidence? ¿Por qué? Like, give us the evidence and all that. No, absolutely. This is amazing stuff, fascinating stuff, but we definitely need the evidence, man.
That's very vague.
Yeah, so look.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, look. Have I seen a portal open? No. Have I seen a spaceship? Personally, no. Have I seen evidence of this? Yes. Have I seen photo documentation of aircraft that I believe were not made by mankind? Yes. Is there historical significance to this? Yes. Is there multiple events that go back to, I would argue, maybe even before the time of Christ that have documented this in text? Yes. So do I believe that the government has access to certain technology? Yes, to an extent. And I believe that certain contractors potentially have back engineered this tech. I think that that's what can explain the advancements that we're seeing. But I also...
Whole lot of I think. No, even I believe we're not alone, right? Like, even I believe that based off of what we've heard from whistleblowers that they have reverse engineered and, you know, like, they have them UFOs, they got the aliens, they got the technology and all that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people believe that, right? One, if you believe it. Two, if you don't believe it, put it in the comments. No judgment here, put it in the comments. I want to see, like, where you guys at. But no, a lot of people believe that. Yeah, what she's saying has weight because she is a congresswoman, and then she also claims that they were talking about it during a classified skiff, and then, you know, Lou Elizondo, David Grush, Chris Mellon, they were supposed to come up, show up with the evidence, and they didn't. So I think that's, in a way, valuable information. Maybe now if you listen to Lou Elizondo, Chris Mellon, and David Grush, you gotta be skeptical as to what they say, because yeah, they could have showed up during this and presented evidence, but they didn't. Or perhaps it's Anna Luna Polina that is not to be trusted, and this is why Lou Elizondo, Chris Mellon, and David Grush didn't show up. So, you know, just trying to play the other sides, just trying to come up with both sides here. So it could be either or yeah, like, listen, man, nobody knows, right? We just simply need to see evidence, because if you're gonna claim that these homeboys were supposed to show up evidence and they didn't, what are we talking about? Then does that mean that we shouldn't believe these fellas? And you're also not giving us evidence, right, while you're talking about it. So does that mean that we shouldn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's amazing stuff. It's fascinating. I love the fact that you're talking about it, but can we just get some damn evidence, though? How many years? We're at a time where people believe that we're not alone, right? So many movies, to a certain degree, I do agree with people that a lot of movies have kind of like brainwashed us, or, you know, not necessarily brainwashed us, or perhaps, yeah, but I guess we're all used to the topic now, right? We've seen crazy stuff in Marvel movies. We've seen a whole lot of crazy conspiracies, theories being explored in movies, and yeah, a lot of people have been conditioned to believe as well. Even people that didn't believe in aliens and UFOs, even they are now believing it, right? And yeah, people that believe in UFO stuff or have believed in the UFO stuff and alien stuff for years and decades, they are now not believing it. Like, what the hell? Or it's not that they're not believing it, but it's like they're like, it seems like nowadays 90%, if not 99%, is bullshit. Everything is bullshit. Like, what is, and it's very hard to see or say what is real, and it's very hard to, it's very hard to believe, man. So I really hope we get evidence. All of this talk is good, but I guess we gotta go next step. Not guess, we have to go a step further and release the info and the evidence. One in the comments if you, or not one, but like the video if you agree.
So believe that this is a dangerous level of hidden information from the American people, because if you have an aspect of the federal government, which I can tell you, I, with 2 other members of Congress, were denied access to information at Eglin Air Force Base pertaining to whistleblowers because of the fact, and we can get into that story and what happened at Eglin in a second, but we were denied access and told that we don't have security clearance or the read-in authority on a special access program. That's a problem, because I'm supposed to represent and be an investigative body, and you have then people who are unelected that are operating basically in secrecy, and that's a problem. That's a big problem.
And so how do these people have the authority to do that?
I think it's been decades of classified secret information, then also this aspect of the intelligence community that's been empowered. And it's kind of serendipitous with timing, because when you talk about the intelligence communities and what they've done essentially to the trust in this country with the American people, I think this goes all the way back even into JFK, with how they basically have operated outside of the purview of Congress, and basically to an extent have gone rogue up until recently. You're seeing a big push and pull to try to rein in these intelligence agencies currently.
Yeah, so what I want to bring it back to evidence. You said that you've seen evidence. Like, what kind of evidence have you seen?
I have seen photos. I have seen...
what have you seen photos of?
So I was in a skiff, and I can't discuss all that was in a skiff, but what I can tell you is based on the photos that I've seen, I'm very confident that there's things out there that have not been created by mankind.
It seems crazy that people have access to information that shows that there's something outside of us that is more intelligent, at least more capable than we are, and they hide it from everybody else.
What I can tell you is that when you have thousands upon thousands of people around the planet throughout time that have reported something. To say that those people are crazy, to say that, you know, the whole concept of even just asking the question that you might not necessarily be psychologically sound, that in itself, you know, that's a disinformation campaign to get people to shut up about it. And that's a problem. We know that the U.S. government has not exactly been clean, and a lot of what they've done with the American people, specifically to the topic of UFOs.
Which makes you think that it's probably because there's something there. If you think about the motivation they had with Project Blue Book, when J. Allen Hynek was running Project Blue Book, this specific intention was to discredit all stories.
And he ended up ultimately, though, after all of his investigations, becoming someone that was like, I think there's something here. But that's true. By the way, a lot of people might not necessarily go onto Google and look up that information, but you can actually look up the declassified reports from Project Blue Book. What's also interesting, though, is when we're talking about tech, right? The ability for this tech, being that it exists, to change dependence for entire governments on things like fossil fuel, etc. You know, it's
there's that too, right? Something that I know, like Dr. Steven Greer right now, it's, some believe it, some people believe it, some don't. Dr. Steven Greer has explored this topic and talked about it for ages, that, fossil fuel, it's about the money, man. It's simple as that. They have the clean energy, but they don't want that out because, they gotta make that money, man, with the fossil fuels and all that. I guess when all of these resources are depleted, maybe then they're gonna release that or come out with it. I don't know about that, but...
Look, I think everyone has a moral obligation to do what they think is right, okay? And so if you're in a position of power and you see something wrong and you're not addressing it, I think, this in itself, getting the truth out there for people to decide for themselves. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just telling you in our investigations and what we are pushing for in regards to transparency. I would like to see the federal government roll out some of the stuff that we've been given access to, because I think that information belongs in the hands of the American people. And it's not even just the U.S. government. I mean, there's other countries around the world that have done certain things like this. Now, look, I've had a lot of crazy people show up at my office and say, I've heard it all. Yeah, I've been to Mars. I have a chip in my brain, all this stuff.
They all have chips.
We had this one guy that showed up that was like trying to give us a USB. He's like, put this in your computer. They're going to kill me for this. And like runs away. And I'm like, I'm not putting that in my computer. But based on our investigations, what I will tell you is, there's been 2 members of Congress that are actually helping to lead out these investigations with me. And the reason I say that is because up until last Congress, if you even said the word UAP or UFO, people actually told us that if we went forward with these investigations that we were going to ruin our political careers. And so, we're in the mindset of, well, like, why wouldn't we ask these questions? And also, too, if no one wants to touch it, like, there has to be something here, right?
Right.
And so in these investigations, I mean, the amount of people that will come up to us, very successful people, to multiple members of Congress that believe the same thing, it's definitely changed in regards to the stigma that used to exist about disclosure and all this. And so what we're trying to do currently was there's a big documentary that was filmed about 1.5 years ago, and we're trying to get a screening up on Capitol Hill. But look, I think a lot of people say, well, this is a distraction from everything else happening in the country right now. And all I'm simply trying to say is it's not a distraction.
Yeah, the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files.
People that are kind of helping to divulge all this information. You have an intelligence community, Tulsi Gabbard, Radcliffe, Kash Patel. They have been truly, in regards to our other investigations, extremely transparent and wanting to get this information.
I don't know about that. The transparency is one thing. I mean, I'll give her credit for definitely talking about it, and of course, she's a congresswoman, so whatever she is saying, there is weight behind those words, okay? So I'm gonna give her credit for speaking out and talking about all of this, because if it's real as to what she's saying, it's insane. But again, right, no evidence. So you're gonna talk about transparency and say you cannot, like, no evidence so far. Yeah, right? Well, then it's not really transparency. But if this actually moves us in a direction where one day, and I hope that is soon, that one day we're gonna get the real, honest truth, real disclosure. We're gonna get the videos. We're gonna see these beings. We're gonna see the videos, like high quality, 8K resolution. Forget 4K, man. Thing of the past. But at this point, I rather take like 1080p, amazing UFO video, for sure. Because the way it's going, I don't know, man, what these boys and gals be doing, and the government looks like they are sniffing each other farts, doing helicopters with their willies and all that. Pause. But yeah, where is the damn evidence at? I don't know about that one.
So there's diachronic change. There's also evolutionary change. But with regard to future humans, some are described as short grays. Whether those are our descendants or avatars or sort of biological droids, it's hard to say, because some don't have genitalia. Kind of need genitalia to make more babies, unless something's making you. And I kind of think that's the case with...
Okay, how do you know they have no genitalia? That's like a lot of information to be, truth to be told.
These ones, the sort of...
Something's making you?
Yeah, the dickless ones are probably made by a future human who no longer is making robots. Like, it ain't Elon Musk making something that needs oiled and, breaks down mechanically all the time. But it's probably the extension of our gene engineering into the future, where you just create something that can do all of this stuff for you, send them in first to get somebody. If you're abducting an individual and they're, a big scary person, send them in first. And they're more expendable because they're something you created for this purpose. And if you look at Whitley Strieber's account, he sort of describes these small beings as the muscle behind the operation.
For people out there who haven't seen Danny Jones' podcast with Whitley, which was a great episode, can you just explain, you've mentioned him a couple times today, can you just explain who he is and what his experience was?
Yeah, phenomenal individual. Brief summary, he had a cabin in upstate New York.
There we go.
Had some strange experiences with people at his house. So there were other witnesses, lights would come on. I thought his roof was on fire.
Ooh.
And then we went to investigate, and light turns off. Not long after that, he had a shotgun by his bed, armed the whole house with an alarm system because he was freaked out. Like, he knew something was happening. And then when he was first taken, he sat up in bed and he sees this small creature, like what I was talking about, sort of big
the
head,
gray
small
one,
face, but wearing a kind of armor. And it runs toward him, and all of a sudden he's asleep. And then he ends up outside. He's interestingly sitting in a little beam of light.
So he was not sleeping, shotgun in hands, sees that little twat running around, and then BAM! He sleeps. And then he wakes up in a UFO somewhere. Oh my God.
There's snow all around, but there's no snow where they're sitting.
Ooh.
And it's cold, but it's not as cold as it would be, outside in this situation. But there
don't make sense, but all right.
He starts to see other types as well. He's always with the muscle of the operation, as he describes it. But as he ascends into the ship, he starts to encounter a woman, a female presence. And what's interesting is in these cases, even when these beings...
So the alien baddie, right? We covered the case of Anthony Villas as well, which was an insane story. I'll link you towards the end, because this guy's story was absolutely wild, because he says that he was abducted by them aliens, and one of the alien bimbo came out and she got personal with him, okay? She got busy. Pause, I cannot say more than that. So she got busy, personal with him, and he apparently enjoyed it, but then he felt like that he was R-worded, because he literally was. He was concerned, but then, yeah, they parted ways, and she just went to the stars. So that's kind of like the brief version, but it goes deeper than that. I'll link you towards the end, all right?
Beings are seemingly so different from us, we can still sense kind of their soul or their personality. Something like a gender almost transcends the physical form to some extent. But he's in contact with this woman, and then he goes on to have a lot of other experiences. He even has sex with her once, that he writes about in a different book that he co-authored with Jeffrey Kripal called The Supernatural, I think it is. But
man, these aliens freaky, bro. What the hell? What the hell? So he got some, look, by the looks of it. Damn. And here brothers are like, hey man, it's kind of tough on Earth, and these boys be effing around them aliens. Damn, man, that's crazy.
Certainly, he sees different forms, 4 different types on the ship. And that's a really common thing across various experiencer accounts, is that there are different forms oftentimes working together, sometimes even with people, just normal everyday people in military garb, like Air Force uniforms, basically.
So he's seeing things that range from literally human looking to grays to mantids or stuff like that.
Damn. And okay, I understand why he bringing that up. For those of you that do not know, during a recent Congress meeting, they said that there are 4 types of alien species that are on this planet. The Nordics, aka the tall whites, they are very much like the Swedish people, the Nordics, right? Any Swedish guy watching this video would be like, bruh, hey man, I swear I'm not an alien, right? But no, we're not talking about you, homie. You good, okay? We like you here, okay? We like you here. But apparently, that's the description given, okay? So Nordics, the tall whites, they blend with each other, with us, and they are considered to be the good ones, okay? They're tall, white, blue eyes, they're good. The grays, however, 4 feet, 5 feet tall, they are the ones that made a deal with the United States government, according to a conspiracy theory. The Greada tree, we did a video on it, right? So those are not good. They are the bad ones. They do the abductions, alien abductions, and they made a treaty with the government, and they gave the government their technology. In return, they just want to abduct some people for whatever reason, we don't know. I guess we do, but yeah, right? So there's that. Then we have the mantis, the insectoids, okay? Those are considered to be the prime, the best of the best, okay? They are technologically advanced. They are the smartest ones alive, allegedly. And then you got the reptilians. Now that I've said reptilians, the shapeshifters, YouTube is gonna give that, I'm not sure whether YouTube is gonna give it like alien abduction tag or the reptilian. It's gonna be interesting. Let's find out. You let me know what they labeled this video as. All right, let's get back to it. But before we get back to it, before I forget, I need to shout out the homie Jean-Le-Francois for the $10 super thanks, to the homie David, to the homie Matt for the 5, for the 2. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Like, you guys are way too generous on the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Let's get back to the content here. I also want to show you that, but okay, roll it.
I don't know if he ever described anything like
grays to mantids or stuff like that?
I don't know if he ever described anything like that. Some of them he described as looking oriental, that they had eyes, face, everything just like ours. But essentially, I think he said they were slanted. So they looked like ours, but a little bit more oriental, or what we would say East Asian looking. And then, yeah, the woman, the taller woman, to get back to height, she was taller, had gray alien type characteristics, but was in charge of the operation. She had higher consciousness, telepathy.
She was the boss. Okay.
But then there were these ones that he called the muscle of the operation too, that were, I've come to think, possibly manufactured. And this is, obviously we can't know until we have them, and maybe we do have them, and maybe that's a part of these crash retrievals, that we could go look at them and study them and see if there is a difference between ones that are reproducing themselves and ones that are created in the image of those in our future, if they are future humans, who are making...
Yeah, another one of those conspiracy theory that the Greys are literally us from the future. The Nordics look like us, but they are the aliens, right? They are the ones that can blend with us easily. That's what it's being said, right? Like, maybe you come across one of those guys, one of those aliens, one of those gals, but you wouldn't know. You would think like it's an Earthling, right? It's a human, but wrong. They're not, okay? The Greys, the bad ones, but apparently they are us from the future. That's a conspiracy theory, which, I mean, in a way, if they are bad and they are us from the future, kind of makes sense, right? Because we're not that good, right? We're not that good. So I guess if that is true, then if any of this conspiracy theory is true, I would say the Greys are literally us, because they are bad and we're bad too, so yeah.
Them to perform various tasks. Those in our future, if they are future humans, who are making them to perform various tasks. And I would love to do that.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in that, because I do want to come to UFO crash retrievals later, but I want to stay with some of the experiencer stuff. So you had said, I think it was in your extraterrestrial book, you had said something in the range of like 90% or something like that of people who report being abducted claim it was a positive experience.
Yeah, I mean, there's some qualifiers to that.
How so?
Well,
90% of the alien abductees have said that clench your butt cheeks, hide your holes. That's what they said. I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if they had a positive experience. They felt some way about it.
Well, first off, what you're referencing is the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Free Study. It's a survey of experiencers. So. Yeah. At the time they published that in 2019, they had 3,500 individuals. And I always try to acknowledge problems with methodologies, and there are issues with surveys. People can lie, they can distort the truth. Sometimes they don't understand what is the truth. These are people who are willing to talk. Some people are less willing to talk. So there could be inherent biases in those two. 3,500 is a decent sample size. It's the largest for something like this. But there are... They have added, I think they're up above 5,000 now, because they're continuing this study. It's also important to talk about the sample. This is a multilingual international sample. It's not just a group of, dudes from Omaha or something. Like, it's a pretty broad sample of individuals. So we can glean something from that. So individuals, importantly, and one of the main reasons I reference this study is to talk about the types, like what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And the majority that are seen are described as human. And no, human.
Literally human.
Yeah. Not even human looking. And this was something I screwed this up in my first book, going to my second book, because I really just focused on the Greys. And I didn't show just how much variation there was, or I was mostly just talking about how could we get there? What are some of the forces in our evolutionary past that would lead us to look like this? And obviously, it'd be easy to say we live in space, we live underground, it's dark, that's why our eyes get bigger. Maybe, I don't know. But I try to stay away from speculating about those things and just focus on dominant trends that we can understand.
I don't want to speculate, but proceeds to speculate. Okay, now I'm joking. Terrible joke. I know. Okay, let's get back to it.
But in the study, the top reported type was human. And then after that was the short Greys that we were discussing.
Top reported. Now, another one of those conspiracy theory. I know. But Dr. Steven Greer said, whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. But he is one of those whistleblowers that have claimed that most of the abductions, the alien abductions that happen, it's the United States that's doing it, right? It's the deep state, dark ops, it's basically us Us as in us humans doing that shit, not like them little aliens out there. Yeah, like them aliens getting the blame. Because Dr. Steven Greer is more like a proponent. Is that the word? Yeah, he's more like them aliens are good. Like if they were bad, we wouldn't be here. Or yeah, you know, I mean, in a way, it kind of makes sense, right? This is one of those arguments. Like, okay, if aliens are real, if they exist, and if they're technologically advanced, like thousands of years advanced, millions of years advanced, well, they could destroy us, but they are not, meaning they are not hostile. Now, other whistleblowers, one of the Canadian Defense Minister, Paul Haler, he passed away, rest in peace, he came out multiple times, and he seems to be one of the most credible ones as well. Not saying Dr. Steven Greer is not credible, not saying that, but different argument, right? Or different testimony. So Canadian Defense Minister, because he's a defense minister, his words carry a lot more weight, just like how Anna Luna Polina recently came out. She's our United States representative. Whether you want to believe her or not, that's up to you, but she came forward and didn't really present evidence, but again, because she's a rep, her words carry weight. Simple as that. She didn't show us any evidence whatsoever, but okay, she's also making insane claims, like interdimensional aliens, this, that, the other. That's what she said. We did a video on it. But Paul Haler was saying that there are different alien kinds. Again, makes sense. Other whistleblowers have said the same. But what Paul Haler also said was some of them are good and some of them are bad. Makes a lot more sense to me, right? Because if the universe, if what they say is true, like there are billions of planets, or I mean billions of galaxies, and within each galaxy, billions of planets, not just billions of planets, but billions of galaxies, and within each galaxy, billions of planets, mathematically speaking, we cannot be alone, right? Simple as that. Mathematically speaking, we cannot be alone. So how many species are we talking about? Certainly cannot be just us and then one other alien species. Gotta be like more than that, mathematically speaking again, right? So if there are multiple species, then some of them gotta be good, some of them gotta be bad. It's just the probability factor, right? Just playing with the probability factor here. So yeah.
Tall grays and then hybrids. After that was the short grays that we were type was human. And then after that was the short grays that we were discussing, tall grays and then hybrids. And what I always point out,
hybrids again? I'm sorry.
Just a combination of the two forms. Okay. So like one example is Travis Walton. When he was taken, most likely an ambulance call because he was shocked by this craft. He wakes up in this bed with two short grays around him.
Damn. Imagine waking up to two short grays, bro. That's wild. So there are tall grays and also hybrids. Now, Antonio Villa's story is also pretty insane. So when he said hybrid, makes sense, right? Because one of them alien baddie R-worded the guy, and he said he enjoyed it for the time, but then afterward he was confused. He didn't enjoy it. That's what he said. I'll link you that story. And apparently that alien baddie wanted a baby. And I would say that's hybrid, right? Because if an alien species mate with a human, then, you know, whatever you create is gonna be a hybrid. So there's that one too. I mean, this rabbit hole goes insanely deep, bro. It's wild, man. It really is insane.
Didn't have a chance to check in their pants. It'd be really two short grays around them. Didn't have a chance to check in their pants. It'd be really interesting to know if they had genitalia or not, because it might help answer this question: is are they all droids if we see the short grays, or are they just creating them in their image like we do with robots now? But then he escaped. He went in the control room. He's pushing buttons. They're like, "No, bro, don't do that because you're gonna crash our ship." And then he was approached by a man who looks just like a man, you know, tall, blonde hair, blue eyes, stocky build, and
probably a Nordic alien. Yeah, aha, that's the one. Okay, don't touch our ship, you're gonna crash it. Sadly or luckily, or I don't know what word he used, but okay, didn't have time to check under his pants. Pause, bro.
And then encountered other women and men who he said had sort of a familial connection, like they all kind of looked the same. So that would be an example of what we consider the hybrids. Ones with sort of the archetypal gray alien form, but also a human form.
Right.
And we can come back to that too, like that hybridization program is kind of an important aspect of all of this. But
I'm sorry, Michael, I just, there's so many things here, I don't want to get lost in them, but from a detail perspective, like, how can we explain seeing in the same place human, literally human looking, and grays
Yeah.
If based, and maybe I misunderstood this, but based on what you were saying earlier about over time and things changing, that would suggest that those two beings are from very different future realms. Meaning, one, I'm just throwing random numbers out. One could be 200 years from now. Another could be 200,000 years from now.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly. I coined a term for that, temporal ancestry. So we talk about geographic ancestry now, where we have people from sub-Saharan Africa that have sort of lighter body builds, darker skins. They've evolved to the climate and the UVA light in that area, and evolved more melanin because of that. People from East Africa, or East Asia rather, Native Americans. So we can see snapshots of our evolutionary history now in this present time.
Yes.
In these cases of close contact where they see different forms with marked differences in their morphology, I think it's exactly that, like what you just said. That is people coming back from different times or working together from different times for likely different purposes. They may have a variable reasons for wanting to come back and collect data on the human past, but they're likely all doing it at the same time to be less intrusive, to disrupt us and our timeline to a lesser extent. But what I always point out is based on the study. So you've got the humanoid, human-looking, human form, short grays, tall grays, hybrids. Every single one of those is an upright walking biped.
What?
That's the trait that defines our lineage. We are bipedal. And I've said 100 times that if what's getting out of these ships is some kind of squid or octopus or spider-looking creature, I never would have given two shits about this because there's no connection to us. But that trait alone, and you could go past that. You could talk about the tetrapod characteristics, having 4 limbs, which goes back 400 million years on this planet.
400 million.
400 million. We share that with them. Pentadactyly, having 5 digits at the end of each limb. And there's some variation there. Some say they see 4, but for the most part, they have 5.
How do we know it's 400 million? That's so long ago.
The fossil record. We can see when that 4-limb characteristic started. And then Darwin actually pointed out back in the mid-1800s that it makes no damn sense. Like, you use the same 4 limbs to do all of these different things. Whales got them, and bats got them, and we and horses and cows and all these ungulates. But it would make more sense if we just developed, if an elephant had 8 limbs instead of 4.
Whoa, what? I don't want to see like a 4-leg alien, bro. That, I guess then we're gonna get down to the territory of like horror and like a freaky alien, like a scary one. It kind of brings a picture in my mind of like that War of the Worlds movie, but that had, if I'm not mistaken, like I need to rewatch it, that was so long ago, but yeah, right. I guess it had more like a robotic aliens, not necessarily like a flesh alien. That was the bad aliens, right? But had multiple one of those legs, right? 4 legs, but robotic legs, right? I do wonder if there is a species out there that's not flesh, but more like robots. But nah, right? That don't make sense, right? Does it? Yeah, it don't make sense, right? If imagine there's a species out there that's fully robotic. Nah. It gotta be like a flesh alien species that would have created robotic aliens, just like how we are also creating robots and all that, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? There's gotta be somebody behind them too.
But we take the same 4-limb bow plan from 400 million years ago and just modify it for our purposes. That shows that we evolved together. We share a common ancestry, as we say. That's a synapomorphy, or a shared derived characteristic of all mammals, that we are tetrapods. So, importantly, all walking upright, all bipedal, therefore, we would classify them all as hominin. If we are reproducing with them, that's where the hybrid part comes in.
Shout out to Ted's Tale. Check this out, roll it.
Tell us when you got your first hit, if you like, as regards actually seeing something interesting.
I found an Excel spreadsheet that was actually called, at least in the heading of the column, it said non-terrestrial officers. And I was like, my God, that's just
non-terrestrial
officers with ranks and names, and then a separate sheet with tabs for material transfer between ships. But non-terrestrial officers thought, well, it must be, let's try and cut out all the possible conventional explanations first. Right. I searched for that term, it was nowhere. It was nowhere at all. Now if you search for the term, you only find links to me, and it wasn't a standard thing in the military at all. So I took that to be, they must have a secret space-based.
And how many officers' names would you estimate were listed, and how many ships were listed?
I think there's probably one screen full of officers' names, if I've rows.
Right.
Okay, okay, that's cool and all, but can a brother get those names unblurred? It's like,
Bruh.
come on, man, for real though. Come on, man, let us in on it. But real quick though, okay, before I forget, I need to shout out the homie I Am Who I Am, the homie Ron, and the homie Cat. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel, for sending in the super thanks and all that.
This was probably, I don't know, officers' names, E5 rows,
Right.
an Excel spreadsheet. But the ships was probably, I don't know, a third. It was just French.
So estimate how many different ship names you saw.
Maybe 8, 10.
And am I right in thinking that you then tried to search for those specific names? Right, and
didn't find a thing.
Do you think that they could be classified?
Not the names of the people, the names of the ship.
But they could be classified secret or top secret names of some sort of craft or ship.
I don't know, man. He was already looking for proof of UFOs. Probably just made it up.
Nah, bro. He didn't just see the list.
McKinnon should have logged off for the day, but decided to connect to one more computer.
Yep.
And this time, there were only 2 folders on the desktop, processed and unprocessed. He pauses for a second, takes a hit off his joint, and clicks on the unprocessed folder. Dozens of files begin to load in a file format he's never seen before. He quickly clicks on the first file, and suddenly a small line appears on the screen. Moments later, it expands downwards. It's a picture. McKinnon then looks at a clock he has set to US time, 7:59 a.m. Only a few minutes are left before Building 8's employees start working. Time is ticking and the image is still loading, and it might be McKinnon's only chance to find proof to validate his UFO obsession.
What came onto the screen was amazing. It was a culmination of all my efforts. It was a picture of something that definitely wasn't man-made. It was above the Earth's hemisphere. It was cigar-shaped. It had geodesic domes above, below, to the left, to the right, and both ends of. And although it was a low-resolution picture, it was very close up. This thing was hanging in space. The Earth's hemisphere was visible below it.
However, at the same time McKinnon was...
Kinda reminds me of Edward Snowden as well, right? But Edward Snowden wasn't like looking super deep into UFOs. He was like about something else, right? And yeah, he can never, by the looks of it, never come back. But we heard that President Trump was gonna pardon him. Or, yeah, those were probably rumors. Yeah, not sure about that one.
In space, the Earth's hemisphere was visible below it.
However, at the same time McKinnon was celebrating, one of Building 8's employees got into his office, and to his surprise, one of the computers was turned on. Suddenly, McKinnon sees the cursor quickly move on its own, and...
Cigar shaped, bro. This was years before the Tic Tac UFO.
I don't know, Ted. I don't think he saw anything.
Yeah, we call it like the cigar, but there are 2 types of... I guess you can technically call the Tic Tac UFO a cigar-shaped UFO, right? But when you say Tic Tac, you mean Tic Tac shape plus the color white. You know, the one that Commander Fravor claimed to have seen, which later we are... now we're hearing it was made by Lockheed, by reverse engineering the real UFOs, okay? So that's like the updated narrative on that.
Then why did they go after him so hard?
The UK's Crown Prosecution Service did not intend to prosecute him, but the Americans did. They planned to extradite him to the United States. His mother, Janice, reacted with alarm, stating, "Extradite? At that moment, I was plunged into a state of terror, real heart-stopping terror. The kind that makes you want to grab your possessions and bundle your family into the car and head for the hills." The hacks occurred between 2001 and 2002, when British authorities required evidence to justify extradition, which the US never produced. However, the rules changed in 2003 when a new treaty came into effect and evidence was no longer required.
Extradite him for looking at some files.
They wanted to give him 70 years, bro.
The man responsible for what has been described as the biggest military hack of all time in the United States, Gary McKinnon, today has lost his battle to avoid extradition after High Court judges ruled his prescription was lawful and proportionate to his offense.
Yeah, right, the offense was he actually hacked them to find information. Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but like, can a brother perhaps get pardoned real quick? Yeah, right, like, so what? He got it. No, I'm joking around, man. No, I get that part, but listen, man. Can our brother get some UFO stuff? Can we? Yeah, we demand answers. We demand answers. The taxpayer demand answers. No, we want to know their truth, man.
Fence. The 43-year-old who suffers from Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism, has been described by his lawyers as a UFO eccentric. After today's ruling, his solicitor Karen Todd.
Did he actually have autism, or they claimed for him to have it because he made the claims of seeing UFOs? So yeah, he loco. Did they do that to him, or was he actually autistic? No disrespect to anybody that is. I'm just trying to make a point that perhaps he was not, and they were labeling him as because he was talking about UFOs, seeing UFOs. Again, if anybody that genuinely is, I don't mean that in a rude way or anything like that.
Said their fight is not finished. A heartbroken plea from Mrs. Sharp for compassion.
I appeal to Obama and to Gordon Brown. Do they want the first computer hacker ever to be extradited to be a guy looking for UFOs who has Asperger's syndrome, who admitted to computer misuse without any lawyer and without one being present? It's not really a very good example, is it? It's not going to really make them look very good in the eyes of the world. It's a disgrace, and they should be highly embarrassed.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. He saw the tic-tac.
There are two things that need to happen here. First, the Home Secretary in Britain is reviewing this case and has to make an effectively sort of quasi-judicial decision in the next few weeks. But at the same time, there have been discussions between the British government and the American ambassador about potential steps that could be taken in this case.
Cameron also said that Obama told him he would find a compromise, but publicly, the president wouldn't be drawn on the case.
One of the traditions we have is the president doesn't get involved in decisions around prosecutions, extradition matters.
At the time of Gary McKinnon's indictment in 2002, computer misuse wasn't an extraditable offence in the USA, and in Britain, it carried a maximum sentence of only 6 months.
Ooh, okay.
Why do you think they went after him so hard, bro?
Yeah.
It's probably because he took the piss out of them.
Yeah, or he saw them aliens! He saw them aliens! He saw them aliens, man.
How has the whole case affected your life and that of your nearest and your dearest, apart from Gary?
Well, it basically puts it on hold. You can't do anything because you don't know what the future holds. And because it's my son, it's on my mind every second, every waking second of every day. Yeah. I think how I can fight it, who I can contact, what I can do, so you don't have another life. Also, as far as earning a living, it's very difficult because you don't have the time. This is 24/7. People imagine we've got campaign headquarters. We don't. We have me in front of the computer. And I sit till 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I can't stop. And so for Gary, it's the worst of all because only he is literally facing being dragged across there. But for everyone, it's actually 8 years of torture.
Yeah, 8 years. E and W mom though, like yeah, mom, W mom, mom's the best. You feel what I'm saying?
What the fuck?
You went on for over 10 years, bro.
Ooh. Check this one out. Shout out to Mystery Man. Yo, the first clip, crazy.
While hiking through a remote desert, a man spotted a disturbing figure on a mountain range.
Oi! Oi, come down! Come down, Habibi! So we got an alien Habibi.
It appeared completely black, with glowing red eyes. Next to it, another figure seemed to be standing.
Yeah, right.
To this day, whatever was up,
looks like they're holding hands, right?
There remains unknown.
Yeah,
though hopefully it was nothing more than a prank.
I don't know, man.
In 2013, Hunter Jeff McDonald called 911 while out in the woods. Take a listen.
911, please, medical.
Yes, I've been attacked by a man in the woods while I was hunting. Please send the police to my location immediately. I cannot stay on the phone. I have to cover him. Please send the police immediately. My name is Jeff McDonald.
Okay, what's going on up there, sir? Can you tell me?
I was attacked by a naked man, and right now he's laying in the woods near me. He's
laying in the wood. Damn, man. Pause real quick. Sometimes you gotta lay the wood down, and he was laying in the wood. Nah, bro, that ain't it. Lay the wood down. Don't lay it in the wood, bro. That don't even make sense. Come on, man. Get it together, Holmes.
Mostly okay, but I'm holding my deer rifle on him. I mean, I'm not going to let him attack me again. I need the police up here now.
Okay, and where is the naked man?
The naked man is laying about 20 feet from me.
Is he alive? Is he
I believe he's asleep right now, yes. But I'm telling
So, you got attacked by a naked man who laid in the wood instead of laying the wood down. And he's now asleep? That don't even make sense. Yeah, where is Detective Dokes at? We need Detective Dokes right now on his ass immediately, bro.
telling him he can't get up. I'm making him lay on the ground. He attacked me earlier, damn near killed me.
Okay, and you got him held at gunpoint?
Yes, I do. This is a real emergency. I need real police to the quick.
I understand that. Okay.
Because I only have one option here, and you know what it is.
Yeah, okay, so I understand, Jeff. I just want to make sure that they can find you. Do you have anything that you can, any sounds that you can make with you?
I don't want to fire my rifle for safety reasons.
Apparently, the naked man who lunged at him shouted, "Sasquatch kills the hunter." Jeff fought back and held the man at gunpoint with his rifle until police arrived. The assailant, a 22-year-old, later claimed Sasquatch was his spirit animal.
Oh shit! Oh, spirit animal. Okay, whatever. But no, I was thinking it was a prank call, but no, turns out the call was genuine.
The assailant, a 22-year-old, later claimed Sasquatch was his spirit animal and had ordered him to attack. The case baffled many, raising questions about whether it was a mental illness or if there was some truth to it. To this day, that remains a mystery.
Okay, the call was... Okay, not gonna work on it, mate. Not gonna work anymore, mate.
This footage was uploaded to TikTok by official GPT. During a Ghost Panic livestream, a man captured something truly bizarre. The figure appeared to be perched in a tree. At first, it blended with the branches, but as it moved, its face and body came into view. Then, suddenly, this happened. Fire ignited at its feet. Terrified, the man fled the forest. To this day, whatever he witnessed that night remains unknown.
Oh crap.
Back in 2013, a man named Phil Pulling from Mission, Oregon, began hearing strange, unsettling sounds outside his home late at night.
That almost sounds like laughter.
Yeah. Bah! Okay, you gotta chill.
Concerned, he followed the noises to a forest just a short walk from his house. Then, this happened.
Oh no. Hey, 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 hey! What the hell?
I think that was a gunshot. Somebody just shot over into the woods.
Yeah, not good. Oh, again. What? Okay, was that the creature being shot? Yeah, 3 shots I heard, right? And then you started hearing that laughing, but that laughing turned into kind of like a scream laugh.
And the woods went silent, as if someone or something had lost patience with whatever that was.
Yeah.
Months later, more people online reported hearing similar sounds for months. Some suggested it sounded like monkeys, but they don't live in the area.
Man.
It remains a mystery, and people wonder. Is whatever was out there still there, even after that night?
Perhaps.
While driving home from a day in the woods,
Perhaps not.
this person had to stop for something unexpected.
Roadside encounter. Damn, man. He packing. We got a massive BBL
bear was slowly crossing the road. But how did this bear grow to such an enormous size?
Yeah, that's big.
While
yeah, don't let Joe Rogan see him. Joe Rogan would be like, yo, that's 1,000 tons of protein.
Wandering through a forest in Indonesia, this person stumbled upon something strange.
Aneh, aneh.
This is really weird.
Tiba-tiba mobil kesini nih.
The truck somehow ended up here. Is that your truck or? You
Masuk di akal gue nih.
This doesn't make sense at all. Looks like they crashed here or ran out of fuel or
Sini
something.
Jalan nggak bisa masuk mobil.
Cars can't
Sini nggak bisa
get through.
masuk, banyak pohonan. Tanggal 5 bulan 4. Tiba-tiba mobil nih masuk ke hutan ini kita nih. Aduh.
Yeah, the truck somehow got into the forest.
Tahu nih hutan mana ini?
We don't know which forest this is. Hey yo.
Semalam mah gede jalan mah. Masa
Last night the road was big. What did it and how did it end
A
up
truck stuck in an impossible position.
Yeah.
There are no clear tire marks on the ground, and the space seemed far too tight for any vehicle to have passed through. Some suggested the driver may have been sleepy or drunk, while others suspected something more unusual. Whatever the case, the bizarre sight left people puzzled.
Yep. Yeah, I want to know
A
the
group
story
was
for
hiking in
sure.
the desert when they came across an abandoned baby cot with scattered clothing beside it. The scene felt disturbing, so out of place in the empty stretch of sand. There are no people nearby, no signs of activity, just silence around the strange find. The image of a child's bed left in such isolation carried an uneasy weight, like a story no one wanted to uncover. And so they moved on, finding nothing else during their walk. A mother took her son out for a quiet day in the woods, snapping a few photos to remember the moment. At first, the images looked nothing more than ordinary snapshots of a child playing among the trees. But later, while scrolling through them, something eerie stood out. In the background, between the branches, a faint figure of another little boy seemed to appear, watching.
Pareidolia, perhaps, but yeah, no, I gotta say it's a little bit odd. Even my attention went there, so that's why I moved the face cam.
It wasn't a blur, and it didn't look like a trick of the light. The outline was clear. Could something sinister have happened at that very spot?
Yep, you never know.
A man was on a hike when he recorded this strange clip.
Hey yo. All my years of playing video games, I can tell that, you know, this bird is holding the main quest.
The video shows a bird, but not an ordinary one. It flashes blue light in a way that seems unnatural.
Maybe a bird from Asgard or something, dog.
Some believe the bird isn't biological at all, but a piece of advanced technology disguised as nature.
Have you ever heard those conspiracies that I don't believe into that, but these are like conspiracy theories? I don't know how they originated. I feel like I know, but yeah, the conspiracy, let me just lay the wood down real quick, but the conspiracy suggests that the pigeons, the birds, are apparently government-made spy drones, right? That those are here to spy on us, like the pigeons, those cute little pigeons, those birds are just literally spying on us. Yeah, that's one of those conspiracies, theories, right? Yeah, it's a crazy one. I mean, I don't believe into it, but there is truth to it, not necessarily this conspiracy theory. The truth that I'm talking about is that, yes, on occasions, there have been drones, flying drones that are made as birds, right? Just so they can blend in and, you know, for doing secret operations, the government would just deploy those pigeons, fake ones, not the real ones, you know, the robotic drones, yeah. They would fly those birds out and see what's happening and make sure they can blend in. Because, yeah, if somebody see a drone, they know what's up. It's a drone, right? But if somebody see a bird and they don't pay attention, they would be like, yeah, it's just a bird, not necessarily a bird drone. So there's truth to that in that way, but not the other way around, that all the pigeons are spy drones.
Others suggest it could be a hybrid, a mix of machine and animal. Or maybe even a glitch in the Matrix. The man
on.
insists the video is real. So why wouldn't we believe him?
Yeah, oh no.
While hiking through state land in New York, a man stumbled upon something eerie and shared a photo online. It was a male mannequin deep in the woods. Its body was marked, battered, and strangely placed, as if it had been left there for a reason. Who put it there, and why?
It looks like boy went through a lot, man. Dang. They ripped it
In an
into
urban
pieces,
neighborhood,
bro.
a resident stumbled upon something deeply unsettling. Someone had been secretly camping under her bedroom window. Tucked between the bush and the wall, she found blankets, a pair of shoes, and even old food with a spoon.
Oh, man.
The hidden spot was only a few feet from her front door. Unsure what to do, she gathered the belongings into a pile outside the bushes, put up a fence, and installed cameras at both doors. But one question lingers. How long had someone been living right beneath her bedroom window without her knowing?
Yeah, check this one out, man. Just found this, check this.
Sheriff Woody Wallace of Trinity County, East Texas, was addressing a common issue: illegal dumping in a local park. He warned that cameras at both ends of the road now captured every vehicle coming and going. But while the sheriff focused on the trash problem, something unusual appeared in the background.
Oh!
On both ends of this road, I have cameras up. I can see the cars when they come in. I can check the cars when they come out. They had a bunch of garbage when they come in, and it's not still in the back of their truck when they leave. We've got a problem. So this right here is a bunch of cat food cans, a bunch of cat food and bird food. So whoever the perpetrator is, they like cats. Oh, they got a lot of them. We're going to do everything we can to find out who they are. Please share this message, and if you know who feeds their cats this kind of cat food.
Among the trees, a tall, fur-covered figure seemed to stand upright.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Bigfoot, but nah, definitely something there. That is crazy the way it looks, you know, the way it peaks.
Just for a moment, before vanishing back into the woods.
Yeah, holy crap.
The sheriff never noticed it at the time, but viewers were left stunned, wondering what they had just seen.
Can it be just like a bozo living there? Yeah, it definitely could be. But, nah, that's, looks like we got another mystery on at our hands, guys.
In May 2012, Stacy Brown Sr. and Jr. were camping near Torreya State Park when a series of strange knocks echoed through the woods, catching their attention. Then, Stacy Sr. saw it. A massive figure moving across a clearing in the dark. With their FLIR thermal imager, they managed to record the creature. Step lengths and height estimates between 7.5 and 8.5 feet were far beyond human limits.
Dang.
The gait, the posture.
Yeah, especially like, yeah, the posture, the arm that is left behind hanging. Yeah, man, looks like that's a symbol, man. Looks like that he was running away from his wife because the wife beat him up, you know? But it looks like that he got beat up by his wife or something, man.
Everything matched classic Bigfoot reports.
Yeah.
Over repeated visits to the site, the evidence pointed to the same conclusion. Whatever was captured that night was something far larger than any person.
Yeah, human, this is possible. Sasquatch.
Last
Bigfoot.
September, a man named Brian snapped a photo while riding the Georgetown train in Colorado. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but when he later shared the picture with friends, they noticed something strange.
Yeah. Oh, no.
A figure resembling Bigfoot standing behind a tree near the tracks.
I mean,
the shot.
I don't know, it feels like that Bigfoot's wearing jogging shoes or something. Yeah, we definitely need Detective Dokes on this one.
Was taken facing south, away from Highway 6, along a quiet stretch of the loop. Brian confirmed there were no statues, cutouts, or displays reported in that area. The distance and shadows make it hard to know for sure, but the domed head and bulky frame give it the look of a classic Sasquatch sighting.
Right. No, absolutely.
High in the snowy Sierra Nevada mountains, Bill was filming his dogs at Coyote Ridge when something strange slipped into the frame.
Oh no.
Among the trees, a dark, upright figure seemed to glide across.
why we always catch them just walking away, not coming into it, right? Like not coming forward. They just walk away as though they were like, ah man, enough of that bull squash, you know? Ah man, another one of those days. Okay, F my life, I just gotta move on. You know, why do we always have those kind of videos? Why it's not like, okay, let me pull up, you know, let me pull up real quick. Why don't we have that?
Viewers pointed out that Sasquatch is often described this way, gliding as it walks, something no human could do. And in deep snow, the speed it moved with would be almost impossible for a person. But what's even more curious, the dog stayed calm, even while so close to whatever it was.
Yeah, suspect.
This man had set up a trail cam deep in the woods. When he finally checked the footage, he couldn't believe what he saw. Some online swore it was a black bear, pointing out the fur, paws, and strange limb angles.
Okay, pause as in stop, like pause? Or pause as I know what type of pause he's talking about. Yeah, look at those, look, what are those? Yeah, man,
Others claimed it was something else entirely. A dog man, moving on all fours.
Yeah, like I was like, yeah, definitely missing those leg days. Like the legs don't look like of Bigfoot. Bigfoot would definitely have worked on his legs for sure.
The footage sparked days of debate, but no one could say for sure. Whatever it was, it left everyone questioning what really wandered those woods that night.
Raccoon, maybe? But dogman.
A man was hiking when he spotted a large black creature bathing in the water.
Oh no.
At first, he thought it was just a bear and tried to observe from a safe distance. He snapped a quick photo and left.
Man.
But when he zoomed in on the picture later, it looked nothing like a bear.
I mean, give him some privacy, dog. Give him some privacy, okay? We're gonna give him privacy, but guys, you're not ready for this one. Shout out to Area 52 clips. This is a very short clip, but it's still gonna be... You're gonna get some, okay? It's a short one, but you're gonna get some. Check this out, roll it.
Okay. Because I'm fascinated by this, because there's something about the anatomy of these beings that makes it tangible. You know,
Right.
it goes from the non-physical to the physical. And it's funny that we mentioned James Fox here, because one of the more prevalent pieces of information or evidence of these beings roaming this town in Virginia was the smell.
Right. Yes.
The smell which you've talked about in communion. This smell of sulfur or burnt cardboard or ammoniac. It's like this very distinct, potent, putrid smell that engulfed this tiny town that you had with your interaction. That was also mentioned by this this molecular biologist.
Right.
And he actually had the science behind it.
Yes.
Which was, these pores.
Well, that was what started. Someone sent me, I don't remember who it was, the Reddit piece, the document, which is in the back of the book completely. The whole document's there. I have no idea who wrote it. I have to admit that I'm no good at the internet, and I didn't find it myself. Someone sent me a link saying this, you might be interested in this, and that was true. The reason it was true is that the first few words of the document describe something I have observed but never spoken about that is really weird, which is that with the pores. The document describes the fact that they exude waste through pores in their skin, and it mentions the odor of ammonia. And
so essentially we're saying they smell bad. Yeah, what if they take that personally? What if they take that personally, and what if they don't like it? What if, they probably don't like the sound of that.
If they have aesthetics at all, they're very different from ours. Let's put it that way. They ain't pretty, and I hate to say that, but and I probably piss them off, but it's the truth.
Do you think so? You think they'd be offended?
I've already done that. Yes, is the answer. Anyway, when I read that, I thought, my God, I saw that. I know that. I saw that. I saw it in my front yard. What happened was one morning, I got up. It was just I get up early, and I wasn't expecting to see them, but as I was walking past the windows in the cabin, looking out over the front yard, there were 3 of them standing there up near some trees, and I thought, oh my God! I was trying to kind of tame them at the time, like I felt they were very bird-like. They would disappear when you got near them. So I go creeping downstairs and out onto the front porch. It's still standing there, and they're doing this, moving their arms, and I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. And so I step down into the yard, and they're still doing it, moving their arms. Then there's a telepathic message that they're cleansing themselves, that it's waste matter, and that they're literally
like a cat would. Okay, so we're saying they do similar to. But listen, man. What are the odds like somebody would see them aliens in their backyard? The only case that I have the tendency of believing, or I tend to believe rather, is the one that happened in Las Vegas. I believe 2023, right? So something crash landed, dash cam, we had the dash cam footage of it too, like police were rushed there. I mean, they showed up like 40 some minutes late to the place because, yeah, like, I don't know how or why. They had other things, I guess, but the family claimed to have seen them 9-10 feet tall aliens in their backyard. And yeah, no, that was a crazy one. So I tend to believe that story because of the stuff that came out around alongside it too. But this one, I don't know, man. What is there for this gentleman to gain if he's lying, right? That's my question. So far I don't know, so I'm not gonna dismiss the story, and I'm also not gonna fully believe it. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and perhaps it is true. Now, the only thing that so far that we've extracted from this footage, or not footage, rather the video, is that the Brazil alien, the Virginia alien incident, right? People that saw that or claim to have seen it, they said it did smell, or that alien twat did smell bad. So yeah, no, there's a little bit of truth to what he's saying there.
And so then I told Bud Hopkins about this, and he said, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I told him about the ammonia smell, and it was like they were defecating, but they do it through their skin. And he said, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard, but that has to be your imagination. So I figured, yeah, he's probably right. It is pretty disgusting. Anyway, I dropped it. So years and years and years pass. I pick up the Reddit document. The first paragraph is that described exactly. So I knew the document had some substance. It is not perfect genetically. The genetics in the document, I've had a number of two geneticists look at it, and they say the man obviously is a biologist, but their impression was either that he's talking about genetics that are very different, which he is, or that he's probably retired and not completely up on the science as it is now.
I see.
But nevertheless, in substance, the document is authentic in that sense. And to my mind, it's very authentic because I'm the only person. Bud died, and no, he never said that to anybody. He never wanted to discuss it again.
Yeah.
So,
and then we heard about it during the Virginia case. Well, I mean, obviously this come up. I think even
but we didn't hear the idea
the
of
excretory
the
system. Yeah,
exactly. Anywhere.
No,
just the smells in the.
I remember, and he's right on it. Like, not many have talked about it. The only reason I know it is because I've seen the video from the Y-Files. And in that video, he does mention people when they return to the hospital, the hospital was smelling bad. And if you don't know context, apparently the alien crash landed, the military got it, the military then took it to a hospital, they cleared the hospital, and they took the alien there. And and once they took him out of the hospital was left smelling bad. So they smell bad. Looks like, yeah, guys, just show up, man. I'm talking about the aliens. Just show up. We'll hook you all up with the unlimited supply of them deodorants, okay? Bruh. How about that? Yeah, just show up, man. Show the hell up, man.
Virginia case.
The smells in that there was slime. They were oily.
So they don't shower, huh?
A little oily and slimy?
Well, I have to admit that they're not, it's complicated. They're not loathsome. They're beautiful in a way. Some guys from Bright Pat. I was at.
He's trying to make sure he don't get abducted.
Some guys from Bright Pat. I was at doing a book signing in Dayton years and years ago, and a couple of, I guess there were Air Force people from Bright Pat came out. They weren't in uniform, and they showed me a photograph. This is before digital photography. It's a Kodak of 3 of them standing under a tree in a neighborhood.
It's an AI image, by the way. It's at the bottom where my face cam's at. So, yeah, this is by far the most replayed part. So let me just show you, just making sure that you guys see it.
Photography. It's a Kodak of 3 of them standing under a tree in a neighborhood.
No way.
Yeah. This chalk white light coming down and lighting the top of the tree. And they were so graceful looking. They looked like little ballet dancers. And that's how they are. They're very, very graceful. And I said, can I keep this? And they said, no, we just wanted you to know you're on the right track. So,
how strange.
Oh, listen.
Do you ever feel like that might have been some type of like way to, because obviously people are going to say, well, maybe they just showed you some false information to keep you.
No,
right.
It was a photograph.
You feel like it was authentic.
Well, in those days, making a Kodak, why would they go to that trouble?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe they were just trying to encourage me and it was fake. I can't say that for sure.
Sure.
But it doesn't look fake. Not at all.
Yeah. And so, so their skin has this quality, which has these thousands of pores, these tiny little pores. Yeah.
But it's also smooth. Their legs are, I've touched the legs of the lady on the cover of Communion, or at least I think it was her. They're I not necessarily say for sure I can tell them apart, but there's a definite beauty there. You just have to get past.
So he fell after seeing the beauty of them alien patties. That's kind of, oh man, that's kind of not that cute, but kind of okay, bro. Like that's crazy. Okay, yeah, man. Okay.
Past the fact that they're radically different from us, their odors, their gestalt, their body feel, and everything.
Their movements
are completely different from us. Their hands are very disturbing to be touched by, etc., etc., etc. But they are there. Physically,
he'd mentioned their hands were their fingerprints were more like concentric circles in this document.
It said that in the document. I didn't remember that, and I've never seen their. I probably didn't bother with that because I've never seen their fingerprints.
Yeah,
so that wasn't
hard to notice.
Yeah, it wasn't something I would.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not gonna bring up their hand and be like, yeah, okay, show me. So show me your fingerprints, so I can tell, so I can see your future with me. Is there my future with you? Let me find out. Yeah, he's not gonna do that. Like
brought up,
but they said creaseless as well. Their skin was like free of any creases, any like obviously at their at their joints, but other than that there was no wrinkles.
Well, the lady, I remember her as looking old. I asked her at one point, are you old? And she said, I'm old.
What do you think she meant by I'm old?
I wondered about that. Did she mean I'm 80 or 80,000? I mean, you don't know. And when she says when they say we assume that's the individual you're looking at talking to you,
right?
But it's not. It's the whole mind. Like one time she said to me, I created you. And I thought at the time, how did she create me? I thought my mother and daddy created me.
Wow.
But then I thought later, if that was the whole mind speaking, maybe she just said that they created us.
Damn.
And maybe they did, because they do manipulate genes a lot,
I mean, listen, man, there are a lot of conspiracies, right? One of the big one is the Anunnakis. And we did a video on it a while back on the channel. Perhaps we're going to do a new one in the future. You never know. Yeah, so Anunnakis, it's been confirmed. Not confirmed. Why am I so... Okay. Not confirmed. Okay, not confirmed. Gotta catch myself midway sometimes. Pause. But it is being claimed that, according to conspiracies and theories, that they were the ones that actually messed around with our DNA, and they were the ones that actually created us. There are other theories too that suggest that they had a part to play in our genes as well. Not necessarily the Anunnakis, but they say they as in aliens, but who exactly, right? Yeah, we don't know. So there is that too. I'm not necessarily a believer into that, but I wouldn't be shocked, as in if they kind of messed around with our DNA, right? And then, okay, here's the thing, right? If they made us, and if you believe in that, that's perfectly fine, though, you know. And if you don't believe into that, that's perfectly fine too. So, but let's just argue for the sake of arguing. If they created us, who then created them? You feel what I'm saying? Because there's always somebody behind something. You know, that's like one of those questions. So who made us? Then okay, if it's aliens, then who made the aliens? Okay, different aliens made them. Then who made those different aliens? Who made this? Who made that? Yeah, exactly, right? So it's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending question, and it's gonna be like that always.
Maybe the fact that we are so different. I mean, look at us. And any animal, even the closest animals to us, are light years behind us.
100%.
Like
yeah.
A chimpanzee or a African gray parrot can never even understand the most basic concept of an internal combustion engine at all, in any way, ever. That's the difference.
Yeah, it might even be greater than that.
I mean, it's not that important to them, but I understand the argument that he's making, right? And yeah, extrapolate this argument further to the aliens. It's gonna be completely different. Maybe they don't invade us because they're like, okay, we only gonna invade a planet where intelligent life exists. Planet Earth? Nah, man, not super intelligent, not there yet. Okay, not up the threshold. Perhaps that's why we have been saved. Point is, it's a good argument that he's making. Point is that every different species looks at things differently. We don't know how dogs really look at it. We view them as intelligent species, obviously not as intelligent as humans, but they are very intelligent in their own right way. So yeah, dolphins, apparently they are very intelligent as well. Surely they cannot talk in English, they can surely not communicate with any of the languages that we speak with and communicate with and in. Surely, right? But every species, even ants, are intelligent to a degree, right? They can form, they can come together and do all of the stuff that ants do. But yeah, every species is different.
Not even, somehow.
It's greater than that.
Yeah.
It's even greater than that. So yeah, maybe they have been searching this universe for a companion for a long time, and they created us for that purpose. In which case, if we start to self-destruct, they're gonna be PO'd.
PO'd or intervene, right?
Well, if they intervene, they've made it very clear to me it isn't gonna be fun, because it'll mean that they no longer it will turn our whole culture toward them. Right now, it's just a few billionaires looking for tech that they can exploit, and the government looking for ways to protect us from them. That's all. It's not important. But if the whole culture turns toward them, then everybody's going to be looking for cell phones from the beyond. And who cares about our stuff when they can cross the universe? Because there's a lot more than they can do that we don't see.
What do you speculate would be one of those things?
Instantaneous movement.
Yeah, from anywhere.
From anywhere to anywhere.
And any time, you think, too?
I don't think time, it doesn't matter in the least. It's not in time. I talk about that a little bit in Fourth Mind. It's something very, very different. It's not motion as we understand it. It is leaving the whole expression of the world, the physical world, and re-entering it in another place instantaneously. And that is a remarkable power, and they do possess it. And we're going to want that very, very badly, because we think in terms of Earth now, and oh, gee, how cool it would be to get in a flying saucer and go from New York to London in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
How cool would it be?
No, absolutely, right? This is what they say, that the planes that we use, the way of transport that we use is dinosaur level versus the tech they and we now possess because of them. I'm talking about the UFOs and reverse engineering their crafts, and also the free energy, right? And yeah, shit like that we have been hearing for decades now. Where is that exactly? We don't know where is that. I mean, they say we know, but it's never coming out by the looks of it.
To go to another galaxy in a second or under a second.
Yeah, see, when hearing something like that, and which I assume, you know, in this universe rich with life, and you would have to assume with the billions of years that this has existed, that if a race had gotten to a point where, you know, they were able to escape their own solar system at one point, then they would have eventually reached this level of technology.
Yeah.
And if they did that, like my brain always comes back to this, is that if I wanted to sustain life outside of Earth, right, and prolong or even just spread the seed of mankind throughout the stars, right, I wouldn't do so by living in a dome on Mars, right?
No.
I would probably visit planets that already had some semblance of life.
Yeah, right, like the so-called the classic F around and let me find out kind of thing, yeah.
Inject my own DNA into it.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know, I could just monitor them and they can live happily on their planet, and it's still spreading my seed across the universe.
Pause, brother.
So I would assume, like, this is just my assumption, but I would assume that they would have done this a million times over.
Holy crap. So yeah, he's kind of referring to the fact that, yeah, perhaps they kind of messed around with the baddies here on Earth and made something out of it, aka manipulated our genes, DNA, and all that, right? Holy crap, imagine that is real, right? But did you see this video? Yeah, if you have not seen this UFO video, you're gonna wanna check it out. You're gonna love it. Check it out and I'll see you right there.